The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, yo, tonight we are broadcasting live from the Mar-Lago compound. That's right, we are on the outskirts.
The podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations.
That's awesome.
Keep going.
Great, yeah, great. Yeah. Fucking broadcasting live from Mar-Lago on the outskirts, wearing short skirts. I'll tell you right now, justice isn't the only thing going down tonight. Ha, ha, ha. That's not true. We're actually where we normally are every week, but we have a super rad special guest, but the same old fucking technical issues. So welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 525 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of La Swag, within the Raven Chateau and the Lair of the Gods. And we need to come up with a name for the fourth location because she's joined us enough now. Last time I think it was Butt Plug Central, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't yuck my yum, sir. I didn't come here to be king shamed. We can call it the Chateau.
The Chateau. That actually it took me a second, but it makes total sense now. So there you have it, the Chateau. And we are joined once again by our good friend Rachel from Zombie Girls, who barely puts up with us, but she keeps coming back, so we appreciate that.
Are you kidding? You guys are totally collectively my podcast crush. I'm so excited to be back.
Come on. Oh, shucks.
Come on.
Oh, we're all blushing now. Well, it's always a pleasure to have Rachel on, and this week we are doing something a little different because in the past when Rachel's been on, we typically do some interesting, heady films with some deep conversations, and I have a feeling that that's not necessarily going to be the case this week, but who knows? We have an interesting dynamic here, so we'll see what kind of trouble we get into. But we're going to be talking about the film Day Shift, which just dropped on Netflix this past week. And it is directed by J.J. Perry, and it stars Jamie Foxx and a whole host of other folks. We'll get into that a little bit later. So we'll be talking about Day Shift. If you guys have seen it and you're listening live and you want to get in your thoughts, feel free to send a voice message to podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and we'll be happy to share it with everyone on the air. If you're listening after the fact, you can always send in a voice message anytime and let us know your thoughts on any of the films that we've reviewed or anything you've been digging. If you're checking out a new series, a new show, a new comic, new book, new band, whatever, just let us know and let the other folks know. It's all about sharing your interests and sharing what you love. So we always appreciate you guys doing that. And now, I don't know, let's just shoot the shit for a little bit before we get into the film discussion. And since Rachel is joining us for the first time in, I think, about 2-ish months. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I think, yeah.
It was like June-ish.
Last time you were with us was, actually it was, oh, okay, I was actually looking, I was like, wait, it was March. I was looking at the wrong thing. You're right. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that was June 16th.
Yeah. I can't wait to talk about this movie. That's clearly better.
Yeah, we're gonna have trouble topping that last one for a film this year. That's gonna be better. But we have done some great ones with Rachel. We've done, as mentioned, Everything Everywhere All at Once. We also did Take Back the Night, which was an interesting discussion, and then Nightmare Alley, which was also very cool. So done some good ones. But
Yeah.
yeah. So all right, let's get the update, Rachel. What's been going on? You literally do not sleep. I see you posting content 24 hours a day. You're recording lots of podcasts, and you've also been doing a lot of really awesome interviews for what I assume is that your day job?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's when, for work, I do a lot of interviews. That's when I have to pretend to be an adult and control myself. And then I come on here and the truth comes out. And then it's like butt plugs and stupid jokes and the real deal. But I'm just working. We had our live show. We did our Midsummer live show, which was really fun. And today, I'm really excited about the episode we dropped today, which is an interview with Rebecca McKendry,
Oh,
who
yeah.
directed Glorious.
Glorious,
Or
yeah.
have you guys seen that? You haven't talked about it on the show yet.
We're
Have you
doing
guys seen
it.
it?
We're doing it next week, actually.
Perfect. It's great. It's great. Like in the interview, she says like one of her things she wants on her gravestone is that she got a 2-time Academy Award winner to play a glory hole, which I think is definitely an achievement.
Interesting. Raven Shadow's interest is now peaked about next week's movie.
Treat.
Treat. He hasn't even seen it yet.
10 out of 10, no notes.
Top 5.
Top 5. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to top that one.
Ironic use of language there. Because I think it might actually be pretty easy.
So that's really cool. I saw you did an interview with cast members of Sandman from the Netflix show.
I think that might have been what I was doing before the last time we were together. I think I was doing the Sandman junket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I do remember you saying you had a press junket right before we connected up. Yeah, so that makes sense. And you also talked to. I'm actually a little jealous. You talked to holy shit. Guillen, I'm drawing a blank on his
Harvey
first name.
Guillen?
Harvey Guillen.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
What We Do in the Shadows, who plays Gizmo or
Yeah, he's great. I've gotten to
Guillermo.
talk to him a couple times, and he's so like cool and down to earth, and like he could be totally up his own ass, but he's not. He's
Yeah.
outside his ass completely.
It's kind of like Raven Shadow.
Oh, some days are better than others. You know? Is today a good day or a bad day? Who knows? We'll stay tuned. Find out.
So aside from real life stuff, what's been going on? Well, not that this isn't real life, but what's going on the Zombie Girls podcast network?
I mean, same old situation. We have, like I said, we had that episode drop today. We have a couple of fun episodes coming up where we reviewed the House and House 2, which are definitely
nice.
movies from childhood that was fun to revisit as an adult. We did, what else is coming? Oh, we're continuing our, I know I talked about this because it feels like it's been going on for a million years, our Hellraiser rewatch, which is a franchise that is ready for a reboot. We just covered the video game one, Hellworld, and it is appropriately titled. But it's a fun show. It makes for a great conversation. Even we'll see if that follows tonight. We'll see.
I've been checking those out too. And the last episode I listened to was I saw this one, the one that had O'Reilly from Oz. He was the brother in Rescue Me. He plays. I love the actor. He's
the
like
Beeper King. I couldn't tell you his name, but yes.
Because in Oz, he was like the Irish John Constantine. But I did somehow I watched that one, and it's so fucking painful. But no, hearing you folks discuss it, which is great, but I just feel so bad for you all.
It's crazy. I don't know if Stockholm syndrome was set in, but like retroactively, I like the ones that we bashed earlier because they get so much worse. I'm like, you know what? Maybe that Inferno movie wasn't so bad after all. Maybe we should rewatch that.
we did. Let's see. Did we do the last two Hellraiser movies? I'm trying to think. On the show, we did Hellraiser Judgment, I want to say, and that's the one where like it was. What's that?
The internet one that didn't have Doug Bradley.
Yeah. And I can't remember. Like I remember we had like a thing with that. It was like, it was like a running joke. I can't remember what it was now though, but like basically like Pinhead in like an old fucking ranch house or something like that. Like, yeah, that one not very good. But I think we did another one before that, or did we not? I don't remember now. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the reboot or
Yes.
whatever it's gonna be with oh my god, I'm just completely everything's
Jamie
just
Clayton,
dropping out of my head today. I was trying to think of the director's name. He did
David Bruckner.
David Bruckner, thank you. Yeah. And David Bruckner has done quite a few films that we've reviewed on the show, including The Night House and The Ritual and Southbound he was involved in. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I really
too.
dug The Night House.
Yeah, it was great. That and did he do I feel like there was another one that he did that was really good. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm excited to see Jamie Clayton as Pinhead because I mean, I get that like people are very attached to Doug Bradley, but I don't know. I feel like considering what they like the disrespect that was done to that franchise, I don't really understand why people are mad about it.
Right.
Like you know that Inferno exists, right? Like I think it's not that precious at this point.
No.
It's okay.
Time to move on, I think.
When like 6 out of your 9 entries are fucking spec scripts that could have been Beverly Hills Cop 4 or Hellraiser. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
How dare they soil Pinhead? Yeah, they did, brother. Let's just see what they do next.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how people hold, these things in such high regard, and they probably don't deserve it because there's just, like I understand that people have an affinity towards certain characters or films, and the first Hellraiser is fucking awesome. But,
oh my god, it's incredible. Yeah.
But beyond that, I actually haven't seen the second one in a while. I know a lot of people, it's kind of divisive, but beyond that, I mean, I don't hold any of them sacred other than the first one, really. So, I mean, what's the big fucking deal? Like, like there's basically Hellraiser in space, and when that happens, that it's gone a little bit too far. So.
I'm sad to report that's one of my favorites. Yeah, I mean, Clive Barker's involved with this version. Like they're going back to the source material, which is so incredible. I think it's going to be awesome. The rating came out this week, and it's going to be R. There's a really great Fangoria article that was like, they've left their family-friendly roots behind and rated it R. I guess I won't be watching this with my family.
Oh man,
just raise the family. Like, all right, it's Thanksgiving. Come on, Nana. Inferno. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Doesn't happen. Watch Star Wars. Yes.
You don't watch kinky horror movies with your family? Sorry about your family.
I'm the wrong family, I guess. David Shadow's ready for adoption. If you're looking to,
he doesn't cost anything, and he doesn't take up much space. As long as he has a place to smoke in the house and drink, he's okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty much I'm housebroken. Them
pretty much.
Yeah. Housebroken.
Are you sure? You don't
Yeah,
sound
no,
too sure.
Yeah, getting older.
It's just when the blackout dates happen. That's when he's not housebroken.
Yeah. Let's follow my cues. Open the door. You know what I mean? Thanks, Rachel. Glad you're here. Hopefully you'd give us a chance because, that's good. I will say this, though. Everything on that side of the camera, Rachel, is having a moment. I like everything that's going on, like the hair thing. I like the flower.
I was worried I looked a little bit like I was doing the nurse from Pokemon cosplay, so I appreciate the compliment.
I like that. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Very
You
cool.
guys are too nice. I'm getting embarrassed. Say mean things to me.
Bring back the butt plug background.
I know there was a shocking lack of butt plugs in this movie. I was like on the lookout, but it was a butt plug free adventure. I don't want to tell you.
Wow, that might be the episode title.
Butt plug free adventure.
It's a contender, that's for sure.
It's now going to be in my writer. I don't come on the show unless there are butt plugs.
Yeah, somehow, whether it's a discussion or in the movie,
Spiritually, metaphorically,
Yeah.
there must be a butt plug.
Well, it all just depends on how daring you are. Anything could be a butt plug.
That's true. I wrote about a lamp today that was.
Yeah, I was just looking at Raven Shadow's lamp, thinking.
You describe it. Go ahead.
I'm just a very interesting butt plug you got there, Raven Shadow.
This Evans.
heavens to Bootsy.
Stars and Garters.
So what else? Let's see. What else is going on? Have you guys checked out any new shows or movies that you're excited about talking about or anything like that? So let me ask this. Has anyone seen Sandman yet? I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm 5 episodes in.
I assume you're a fan of the source material.
I am. I actually Joey Tron let me borrow the complete collection. This is a while back. I was probably 22, 23. So this was definitely a while back. And I read them all over a course of like a week. All in a row, and I was a huge Mark for Sandman and Neil Gaiman. I love his work. I love Neverwhere, American Gods. Read those books. I love Neil, but even he couldn't make the Inhumans cool in a comic series. But yeah, if Neil can make the Inhumans cool, then fucking no one's gonna do it, brother. I'm sorry, but I did enjoy it. Obviously, I'm still blown away that fucking Warner Brothers has no idea what they're fucking doing. HBO Max passed on this, and obviously they changed some things because yes, Sandman was Vertigo. It was also very much steeped in DC lore. Like the original first story involved John Johns, Bruce Wayne, and Clark Kent in a dream sequence. John Constantine was very much important. Actually, as the series ends, you get more and more DC ties to it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I thought the dude who played Sandman was killer. He's totally cast. And it's been a while since I read it, but I did overall enjoy it. I will say this: I knew they were having Joanna Constantine, which I do know was a ancestor of John.
And she's in Sandman. She's a main character in Sandman.
Yeah, I believe she was the one that he's like, oh, I knew a Constantine. And I know he's saying it Constantine, but I'm from New England. I'm saying Constantine. I don't know.
I'll be honest, I always thought it was Constantine too. So I was just like, oh God, have I been walking around and sounding like a dumb American this whole time? I mean, yes, but also in this instance.
Let's see what Alan Moore says. Spoiler alert, he won't tell you anything. But I didn't love the fact that Joanna had John's origin. Or no, or like
right with the X. Yeah.
I would either hoping for she's a cousin, like, hey, it's a different Constantine, and a little too clean for a Constantine. I think John's definitely a little more dirty, kind of smells a little bit, her trench coat was definitely probably more than my salary that I make. Not that she wasn't a good actress, it just I'm just a huge John fan. But once that said, I get why they're doing it. They couldn't have the rights. It was still very well done. But I will say, episode 5, the diner scene was really fragging intense. And it's a very intense story in the comic, too. And even, I'm not sure which is even more out of control, but that was pretty heavy. And I'm really enjoying it so far, very much, with the changes and where they're going. I love it very much.
Yeah, I really love the source material. Love it. but I'm not really bothered by the changes because I know it's just it's an adaptation, and I think it was actually I can't remember, one of the Patton Oswalt was saying that, if you want like a slavish recreation, go watch Watchmen. And I'm like, ooh, point taken. So I kind of have like come to terms with and am at peace with the changes that are made for the most part, because I feel like I understand why a lot of them were made. There are a couple that are a little odd, but for the most part, I'm okay with it. And the show is so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. Like, they threw some actual money at it, and it looks great. And the casting is really good. I don't know. I mean, I'm a fangirl. I'm into it. I loved it when I saw it. I was blown away by it, to be honest. But I also get why people would have some issues with it.
But no, I agree. I mean, also the source material. I mean, Sandman ended, Jesus Christ, in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, not that I'm not dismissing that, but a lot's happened since then. And obviously, characters who are not mortal, they are embodiments of an idea, or I'm not smart enough to really know, but like they can have different forms. And I think, yeah, the money that Neil's involved, it's very rad, and especially I read a lot of the fucking attempts at adapting Sandman over the years into a single film, and those are terrible fucking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it took 30 years they were trying to adapt this thing, and then finally they, were like, it needs to be a show, which to me makes sense. I don't know how you would even begin to try to approach it as a movie, like what, as an anthology? I don't even know, because the stories are so kind of disconnected. I don't know.
Because there's so many different takes on it. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that he's never drawn the same way twice. Small. It's just in the family. Like, truly, if it was a movie, it probably would have ended on episode 5.
Right. Right. Like before Rose shows up, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think it's good. Have you watched it, Aries or Johnny?
I've watched a few, and I have seen the Constantine episode where she was introduced. It's a little off-putting to see the Impossible Girl cursing like a sailor, but it's a Doctor Who reference. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I did enjoy that character. I didn't think it needed to be John, because I think, back then in the day, a majority of the characters were male just because that's what they wrote, were male characters. I think they needed more female characters, and that was deliberately done that way. And I did like it because she was done very well.
Feminist champion, Aries. You all heard it here.
I do what I can.
I'm just sad that Martian Manhunter didn't show up in the first story. I kept.
The dream sequence I'm talking about, right? When they're in their clothes and the Oreos and.
It's been a while. I don't specifically remember it.
Like Clark Kent, he's wearing like a suit, but like his cape is out of the suit, and they're all like like a dream.
I could say yes if it would make you happy, but I don't remember.
Yeah, say yes. I might move this along a little bit.
Oh, there he is, Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super curious to check it out. I might even be able to start this weekend. Was waiting to watch it with T-Dog, and I think we'll be able to maybe start this weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And it's been so long. Same like you, Raven Shadow. Tron let me borrow the trades back in the day, and it's been a very long time. I don't think I even read all of them. I think I read the first few, and I really dug it. And I just, for whatever reason, I felt like I was so far behind, and I was reading weekly comics at the time. So it's just one of those things I always thought I'd go back and just never did. But yeah, I'm super curious to check it out, and it looks like it's doing really well. And I mean, you never know with Netflix these days. Hopefully, it gets another season. I assume it will, though.
Will.
Yeah,
I think it will. I have a feeling, based on the vibe that I'm getting, I think we're going to see another season of it.
My HBO and Warner Brothers is stupid.
It's probably for the best now that HBO is just like killing everything.
Yeah.
We should be
Yeah.
grateful that
Yeah.
they were dum-dums and passed on it, because that's probably why we're gonna get a second season. R.I.P. Batgirl.
Oh man. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. There's some other stuff. Maybe I don't really want to talk too much about Star Wars stuff, but Andor is coming soon in just under about a month from now. So looking forward to that.
Yes.
Raven Shadow, do you have any interest, or Aries, you have any interest in Andor?
I have a casual interest. I will check it out.
Yeah.
I'm not very excited, but when it drops, yeah, I'll check it out, because there hasn't really been a Star Trek show that has pissed me off. So
Star Trek.
oh my god,
Ooh.
You just,
boys,
that's
my
a
bad.
4-letter word around here. No.
yeah,
Like Pokemon too? Yeah. what the fuck?
Pokemon. Pokemon 2.
And
So yeah, so looking forward to that. Raven Chow, do you even know who Andor is?
yeah, I went to high school with him.
Yeah? He's a pretty cool guy.
He's good. Yeah, just don't cheat off him. He's fucking literally shitty average. He was the dude in the fucking episode, not episode 1. What the fuck? The fuck was it? The Problem. Rogue One. Right?
Yes.
Rogue One?
Yes, Rogue One. That's the name of it.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure it's fun. Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
You just wanted to say the name of it? Yeah, the Rogue One. The Rogue One.
Fun. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like Star Trek as much as the next guy.
Oh my god.
Oh. It's all right. You can just hang up on him. It'll just be you and me, Johnny.
Okay, that would be the best night of podcasting
Is
ever.
Riker in this one? No, I will watch that. I'm super excited for She-Hulk, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm watching tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
because I am super stoked for that.
So about that, I apparently it's. I've actually seen some people say that the CGI appears much better in the actual show than it did in the trailer, but I have this like. I kind of talk about it on the Star Wars show a little bit, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But it's that kind of uncanny valley thing, and I can kind of. I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest difference between Hulk and She-Hulk that I can tell is the hair, because she has longer hair, and the way the hair moves for me just seems very unnatural. And I am always having this sort of like struggle in my brain of like, that just looks so like not real, and I know it's a comic book adaptation, it's a fucking superhero, so I mean that should be all I need to know. Like, it doesn't need to look real, but there's just something very off-putting about it to me. So I am hoping that it is better in the actual show. But I'm not actually all that familiar with She-Hulk anyways. I've never read any of the comics. But I've seen a lot of really good reviews about it, so it's something that has me a little interested.
Yeah, I was surprised by the reviews because the trailer was really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm rooting for it. I want it to be good. Really, I really badly want it to be good. Like it's got someone who wrote the Pickle Rick writing the episode of Rick and Morty writing. So it could be really funny. But that first trailer, I was like, I'm taking this personally. This is so bad. I'm taking it personally. My feelings are hurt. So I'm hopeful. But I think you're the thing about the hair, I think, is maybe. I didn't realize that was what was bothering me, but it is. It's like video game hair.
Yeah.
But in a video game, you can kind of forgive it.
Yeah, and because they get motion capture for the emoting and the face, so like I can almost sort of like get that, but like the hair, I don't know what it is. I mean, it just seems to move a little bit too unnaturally for me. Mm-hmm. And with the Hulk, he has significantly shorter hair, so I think it's not as big of a focus, So I don't know. I'll check it out though, and hopefully maybe they made it look a little bit better. But yeah, it's it's probably right now, and kind of like what you said, Rachel, like based on the trailer, like it's probably the Marvel show I'm least excited about. Because I actually haven't seen many of the Marvel shows. I saw WandaVision and then Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I started Loki and I never finished. Just because I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, came out around the same time a Star Wars show came out. So I only have so many hours of TV that I can watch, and it just didn't make it. But yeah, so I don't think I've watched any of them since then. But I heard a lot of
I
good
was
things. about-
surprised how good Hawkeye was, because I'm not a big Hawkeye stan, but I really liked Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would save it for the holidays because it's like basically a Christmas show.
Yeah.
But that was really good, I thought. I don't know. I watch all, but I'm like deep in the MCU. I'm like it, like even now it's sometimes it's like a love-hate thing, and I'm just like I got to do it. I'm a decade into this thing. I've committed. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with She-Hulk.
Raven Shadow's a big fan of the purple-clad bowman, as we like to call him, Hawkeye.
I love Bowman.
Bowman.
Love Bowman. I love Hawkeye so much.
You like purple-clad bowman, especially.
I do like Bowman with Cavalier boots. I like that a lot. I just wish he'd have his mask on. I fucking adore. I love Hawkeye.
Well, he's Jeremy Renner's too handsome to wear a mask, man.
That's true. That's one of those things where I get it. I love it. I'm down with Renner, dude. I was down with him when he was in National Lampoon's fucking.
You go way back with Jeremy Renner, huh? Look at you.
True fans only.
Yeah.
Look at us all getting shamed with our Hurt Locker love. Jeez.
Are you on his? Are you part of his OnlyFans, Raven Shadow?
Oh, yo, when I saw fucking 36 days later, what was it? 28 weeks, 29 days later, 28 weeks later, the one with the Carlisle, the zombie movie.
Oh,
28 weeks later.
28. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. But yeah, 28 weeks later, he was in that. He was the American soldier, and I was like, yo, that's the fucking dude from National Lampoon Senior Trip with Matt Frewer. Represent.
Matt Frewer. I always love the deep cuts I hear on here. Are you super excited for the Max Headroom reboot?
I think I am, because I remember when that came out, and I was confused by it, and all the commercials, like it was fucking weird. That show.
Mm-hmm.
I like Matt Frewer on a show called Dr. Doctor. Those people don't know about that. That was a sitcom in the fucking 80s too. Dr. Doctor. Google that.
I don't think Google goes back that far. I'll try.
I actually do. Matt Frewer also played the villain in the TV movie of Generation X, about the shitty, not New Mutants, but next generation of mutants, with Banshee and the White Queen, played by the soap actress. Yeah. Didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
You have so much useless knowledge. It's crazy. You can't remember how, like, the time zone in California, but you know that.
But do you know the time zone in England? That's the question.
Well, you should now.
It's harder than you think.
Linus, text me, bro. Yeah, it's 13 o'clock over there. Yeah.
Well, Raven Shadow, if it's 8 hours in the future for Rachel, and now you know West Coast time, how far in advance is England to us?
It's a fucking trick question, man, because
No, it's not. Why is it a trick question? You got to use your powers of deduction here, Batman. Come on.
All right, well, riddle me this, Wolfie. All right, if Rachel's here,
Yeah.
and Linus is listening somewhere across the pond,
Yep.
and we're here, doesn't it make it our time?
Yes, it does, Spicoli. You gonna order some pizza and learn about Cuba too?
Yeah. I got a bagel in my pants.
I got a bagel in my pants.
I know, dude.
I think we just found his spinoff.
If someone hasn't seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, they're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm impressed.
There's no surprise party here for me.
You dick. Yeah. Was he taking his Vans and hit him against his head? I fucking love Jess Spicoli. I can't believe that's Sean Penn. Like now, like it's one of those roles that you look at and you're like, that's fucking Sean Penn.
Spicoli to El Chapo. What a fucking arc, man.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, you can look at like other actors, like Matthew McConaughey is now like a somewhat legitimate actor, but I can still see him playing the dude from Dazed and Confused. Like that's not like a stretch, but for me, it's like thinking of like Sean Penn as Jeff Spicoli. It's like wow, like I it's hard to imagine now, like that guy is played Spicoli, but I could totally see Matthew McConaughey doing. I can't remember the character's name, but the character from Dazed and Confused.
I just always remember him as like the same age.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
But then he's in the was it the Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah.
An awesome True Detective.
Yes, Russ Cole. That one I do remember his name. Yep.
I always think that was almost Matthew Modine, who was dope in Full Metal Jacket, but he also started out in like 80s sex comedies. One called Private School.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah, now he's was obviously in the latest season of Stranger Things as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Papa,
yeah.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, it's not really that much of a stretch.
I'm sure some people would rather use a different word instead of Papa, but yeah. So let's see what else. I'm trying to think of this.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Guillermo del Toro anthology, Cabinet of Curiosity?
I have not.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's for Netflix, and it's like I think they're all Lovecraft stories, but they're directed by a bunch of really interesting people, like Anna Lily Amirpour and Cosmos Panatos, and like a bunch of other really cool, interesting directors, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I've been following a little bit. I think I saw the trailer drop this week, and I haven't watched it. I'm kind of torn because I love Guillermo del Toro, and part of me just wants to kind of go in cold. But
that's not a bad idea.
But I know as an anthology, it's probably not. There's probably not a lot that they can, that they're going to show in a trailer to kind of spoil all of them. So
no.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll see some visuals, but like in terms of plot, no, nothing really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am very interested in checking that out. I think it's coming out this year, right?
Mm-hmm. It's coming out in October, I think.
Oh, it's a good time for it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Spooky season. What are you gonna do?
Let's see. I'm just looking up. Yep. Okay. October 25th.
I got fact checked. Glad I got that right.
Oh, that wasn't a fact check. I was actually trying. I was genuinely curious to see when.
Yeah, I know. I know, but that would have been embarrassing. So. Now I know how things go here.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't just talk out of my ass. Since when?
Well, I mean, Raven Shadow, literally, that's all he does is talk out of his ass. So.
Yeah, well, better to stick up my hand up.
He's like the Michael Jordan of talking out of his ass. You think I'm really going to take my amateur ass? No.
Oh shit! One of the shorts is directed by David Pryor, who did The Empty Man, which I fucking loved. Did you see that, Rachel?
I did. It's such an odd movie, but I'm very, very into it.
That was one of my favorites from last year. I fucking love that movie. It was such a surprise.
Nobody talks about it, but it was good.
Yeah. Jennifer Kent, who directed The Babadook, is doing an episode. Yeah, as you mentioned, Anna Lily Amirpour, who did A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. And The Bad Batch, Raven Shadow. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, that the Star Wars program?
No, it's a movie we did on the show. It is all right. It is a Star Wars show. Yes, that is true. But I'm referring to the movie.
Oh.
Do you remember anything about that movie?
I knew it sounded familiar. Yeah, I think that was good, right? with the Jedis and the clones.
Oh my fucking god! Do you remember anything about the movie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there was a batch and they were bad, wasn't it? Yeah, they were bad. I like that.
Do you see what we put up with?
Yeah, I mean, you see why I wouldn't even attempt talking out of my ass here. Like, it's humiliating.
Yeah.
Mostly, I just want to point out, you keep on going back to it. Like, you're losing your mind. You're going insane. You're looking for a different answer.
No, I
From Raining
really,
Shadow.
I want to put him on the spot because he doesn't remember a damn fucking thing about this movie. And when I say something about it, he's probably going to remember. But it had Jason Momoa.
Oh, that movie with in the desert with the leg and the shit. Like,
There you go. Jim Carrey was in it. Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Giovanni Ribisi.
All right.
Giovanni Lombardo Radici, he was good.
Remix.
And I'm trying to, where do I remember her from? Suki Waterhouse. Oh, she was in Assassination Nation.
Yeah.
Right.
She was also in that as well. But yeah, that was an interesting one. That's for sure. But and then also, and as you mentioned, there is an episode directed by Panos Cosmatos, who we are a big fan of, who did Beyond the Black Rainbow and Mandy, and we've been super excited to see what he's going to do next. And apparently this is it, and it has, wow, it has this, holy shit.
Yes, I told you it looks incredible.
Well, listen
I did not lie.
Listen to the cast of that episode from Panos Cosmatos. Peter Weller, Eric Andre from the Eric Andre Show.
You had me at RoboCop.
Yeah, Sophia Boutella.
Word.
And Steve Agee. He was in Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad. He was what was his name?
Oh, the computer guy.
The bearded guy. Yeah.
Dye
beard.
beard.
There you go. So that sounds awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for this. So, and if it's Netflix, I imagine they're dropping all of them at once.
Yeah. They don't really do the week to week. I mean, they did it a little bit. I think they experimented with it, but I think they pretty much are back to the everything's just out, which is great if you want to binge, and it sucks if you have to cover it for your job.
I know, yeah.
Well, see you in 13 hours.
Oh shit, Crispin Glover is in an episode.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Gloverhead over here.
Treat.
What's that's actually a good question. What's everyone's favorite Crispin Glover movie besides Back to the Future? You can't pick Back to the Future.
River's Edge?
That's what I was thinking, River's Edge.
Yeah, I honestly that would have to be mine too, I think. It's fucking awesome. I haven't seen it in so long though. But that's a fucking deep, heavy movie too.
Mm-hmm. Charlie's Angels. Just kidding.
He was the best part of those movies, though.
No, for sure. I mean, Crispin Glover is one of those people that just elevates whatever garbage he's in, and it's usually garbage. But I'm just there for the Glover of it all.
For the Glover of it all.
TMing that in case he tries to write a memoir. He's going to have to buy it from me. The Glover of it all.
I want Danny Glover and Crispin Glover to be in a movie.
Would watch.
It would be Glover and Glover.
Glover on Glover.
Glover.
Oh, he was in, I actually didn't watch American Gods, but he was in that.
Was? I don't remember.
He played Mr. World. Well, it seems like he was in 19 episodes, I think. So
I think you should have asked me that before I finished this.
Yeah.
Damn,
Damn, if I was only 10
familiar.
seconds sooner.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Yep. I also remember that as well as that scene from Sandman.
Nice callback. Yeah. And Willard was just fun. He had a movie.
Willard? Yeah. But there you go. A little, nothing wrong with a little Crispin Glover detour. By the way, Rachel, have you ever heard his music?
No, and I did not even realize. I mean, I guess I should have. I should have known that he was a musician.
Let me
Is
see.
it like spoken word music?
It is amazing.
Say more.
I have the album, so let me see if I can pull it up and play like a little bit. So he goes by the name of Crispin Hellion Glover when he does music and his art. Like he tosses the Hellion in there, and the name of the album is "Big Problem Does Not Equal the Solution. The Solution Equals Let It Be." And
Oh my goodness.
and he has songs like Auto Manipulator, which is the one I might play in a second. Clowny Clown Clown.
Oh, we heard that.
Yep. And he does.
These are the most Crispin Glover words that have ever been spoken.
And he does a version of These Boots Are Made for Walking.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's from 89, I think. I think it's 1989. I got to play a little bit of.
Yes, you must.
Oh my God. I don't know which one. I'm going to choose Auto Manipulator because I think that's probably going to be the most funny. Let's see if I can cue it up here.
Women are sweet and girls are honey, but beat your meat and save your money.
I'm an all-pro manipulator. I'll play with myself. I'm a masturbator. I strut on bump, and walk into the grocery store. These slick pages of their magazine are accompanied by their Vaseline. The lubrication is for masturbation. It's time for a celebration.
Oh, it's so good.
I have just replaced "Let's Get It On" with my new "Get It On" remix.
That's it. Yeah, Auto Manipulator, and then follow it up with Clowny Clown Clown.
Yeah.
This song is amazing.
I was walking on the ground, I didn't make a sound, then I turned around and I saw a clown. Had a frown, stood on a mound, started barking like a hound.
Oh my God. Is this what they mean by he's got mad rhyme?
So we became great friends, and late in life, we got sick.
Raven Shadow, this should go on our fucking soundtrack to the apocalypse.
Oh, you're absolutely right, brother. Yeah.
Got it, but it was
I
empty.
recently played this game with someone. It was called the Death Game. And one of the questions was, what song do you want played at your funeral? And I couldn't come up with one. I now know the answer. It is Clowny Clown Clown by Crispin Glover. And I want everyone to be very somber and listen to all the lyrics.
Oh my
They have
God.
deep, significant existential meaning for me.
Are you sure that over Auto Manipulator? It might be a toss-up.
Maybe I need like a super cut, like
Yeah, there you go.
what do they call it when you put a bunch of songs together? That,
Well,
but of all Crispin Glover hits.
there you go. Clowny Clown Clown is only about 90 seconds. So, yeah, you probably do a little follow-up there.
Well, I mean, when you say it all, when you can succinctly say it all in 90 seconds, do you need more?
No.
I mean,
no.
everybody's just dragging it out. Crispin Glover gets it.
It's funny. I didn't think anyone was in the chat room, but apparently I got logged out and it never told me. So I just refreshed and now there's chat. So I apologize, everyone. But Marion says my favorite Crispin Glover performance is Wild at Heart as Cousin
Ooh.
Dale.
Ooh, yes.
So that's also a very good one. We have Creepy Girl. She says, "Hey crew, how's everyone tonight?" This is about 15 minutes ago, Aries, so I don't know what it was, but Marion says that you look like you're in physical pain.
I believe Raven Shadow was talking.
That's a
Just gonna
good
go
one.
on a limb.
Oh, there's the Rio de Janeiro again.
There you
Evil Corny says, so once again, this is way back. He said the Cenobites will always make me think about mini cinnamon rolls.
Cinnabites.
Cinnabites, yeah. He said he loved Sandman, and he said I thought
Man of taste.
I thought Neil Gaiman did Eternals and not Inhumans. I
Uh-oh.
think someone said Inhumans. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
No, he did Eternals. Yeah, I said Eternals.
No, you said Inhumans.
I meant Eternals.
Oh, and just we were all supposed to know that?
Oh,
I said Eternals.
Marion clarified what she was referring to about the physical pain, and it was time zones. That's Raven Shadow's kryptonite, time zones.
Well, first of all,
What isn't his kryptonite?
yeah, that's
Life
like
is his kryptonite.
Uncrustables.
yeah, that's like orange kryptonite or something. That's like white kryptonite.
So
The one-
crust is his kryptonite. Is what
Yeah,
you're
like-
saying.
Yeah. I got a lot more problems, Rachel. I'll tell you that much.
Then who?
Well,
You got
then,
99 problems and a crust isn't one of them.
I get 100 times. What? I don't know. Fucking. I can figure. What do I know about time zones?
Nothing. Nothing. You know
I would like
nothing.
you to tell us, but in the form of a Crispin Glover song.
I don't even know.
You know nothing. You know nothing, Raven Shadow.
I can't fucks with Crispin Hellion Glover like that.
No one can.
He's on his own realm.
Yeah, he is. Definitely on his own realm. All right. Well, maybe we should get a move on here because I'm kind of curious to talk about this movie, and we've already both.
I feel like you've been avoiding it.
The movie? No, I'm looking forward to it. So let's see here. So Raven Shadow and I did a Patreon special a couple weeks ago, maybe a little less, and it's the soundtrack to the apocalypse. And what we did was we started a playlist, and we picked 6 songs each, and we wanted other people to contribute their songs to it. And we're going to pick a time sometime this month. I got to start scheduling that out, and we're going to basically do like a radio show. We'll play music and kind of talk in between, and play the soundtrack to the apocalypse and play the playlist. And this will be a stream only live event. So obviously, with royalties and all that, we'll get in trouble if we do it any other way. So it's just going to be a one-time deal. Hopefully you guys can make it. I might record it just for our own sake, so that maybe I can, I don't know, like send it to people or something. But yeah, we won't be able to release it because it's going to have whole songs. So that's why we're streaming it directly through Discord. It's a kind of a one-time only live event. And if it goes well, maybe we'll do it again in the future. But we've had some great recommendations for other songs already. And make sure you guys get those in, preferably in the upcoming week. We'll probably give about one more week or so I can start putting that together. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, if you're not a Patreon supporter, you should be, and then you can listen to the show where we talked about this. You can join for as little as $2 a month, and then we have a channel on Discord for this where you can pop in your song recommendations, and they'll end up on the list, and we'll play that at some point in time. And at least Raven Shadow and I, if Aries is available, he'll also be there. But at least Raven Shadow and I will be there to sort of be your DJs as we work our way through the playlist. So it should be a fun time. And if you guys want to get in on the action, just go to patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and you can go ahead and listen to the latest episode there. I think it's 36, and find out all the details. And then you can drop your own song for the playlist and find out more when we start scheduling that out. And we're also going to do it on, like I said, on Discord. It's going to be live, and we're going to do it through the event stage on Discord, which has some cool sort of extra stuff to it where we can invite people to join us. So basically, it'll just be Raven Shadow and I, and we'll have the music feed, and then everyone can listen in, but then we can invite other people to join as speakers, and then they can add, as we play people's songs, I want to find out why they picked it and all that. So if you do have a recommendation for a song, we could go ahead and connect up if you're live and find out why you picked that song and do a quick little bit there. So keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't already supported us on Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And I will say, since we had the 10-year anniversary show, we didn't do a Patreon takeover, but we're going to get back to the takeovers. And I think we have a couple people left for this year. So we'll be getting back to those very shortly, and looking forward to getting those in. But there's still some more room for some Patreon takeovers. We'll try to do about one a month. Sometimes there's a break in between for milestone shows or whatever. But there's a couple slots left if you guys want to get out on that, and that's also on Patreon. So give it a look and help support the show. Also, you can support the show a couple other ways. Go to trickortreatradio.com, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link, and then everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. We get a tiny little cut. It doesn't cost them any extra, though, Raven Shadow, right?
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
You didn't answer my question, though, right?
I think, Rachel, did I answer the question? What was the question again, Rachel?
It doesn't cost them any extra, right? You just said, but it helps keep the lights on.
Yes, Jonathan.
No one has ever called me that in my entire life.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on, to answer your question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being
You don't
present.
really think he listens to you. He just listens for his cue to speak.
Thanks for
True.
being present for my question, Raven Shadow. I appreciate it.
I'm trying to get more
You're trying to get more presents is what you're trying to do.
Trying to get more presents. My birthday's coming.
So give that a look as well. And then finally, we have the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio, volumes 1 through 3. They're on trickortreatradio.com. Click on store. And they're $3 a pop. And, we've been doing the show for a long time, over 10 years. There's a lot of stuff out there. If you haven't heard it all, it's a little sampler. You can get the highlights, the lowlights, the midlights, everything in between, the songs, the arguments, and all that and more. So give those a look as well. Okay, Raven Shadow. Now you sit down and watch a movie on Netflix. We don't often watch films on Netflix. Occasionally we do, but what did you do to prepare to watch this movie?
Well, I get excited, Johnny, because it's really easy to be on the Netflix. And then
Did
I
you
think
say
about
Netflix?
I watched Netflix. Yeah, it's a fucking Dracula movie. I put it on Netflix. Yeah, I watched.
That's true. All right. Hey, I can't argue with you.
I watched the fucking Lost Boys. I watched
The
fucking
Last Boys.
Lost Boys. I watched fucking Near Dark. I watched fucking that smart one with Loki and Thor's sister. And I think, you know what? All the pain of the existence with Louis and the vampire to Lestat, So you better believe. I strapped on, I guess is what I did.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glory is a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want
Is some blood and thunder in your life?
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
All right, we are back on Trick or Treat Radio, and it's time to talk about a movie. And no, we're not talking about Crispin Glover, unfortunately. That's what I was on IMDb last, so let me navigate away from there. But we're going to be talking about the film Day Shift, and this film just got a release on Netflix on Friday, whatever day that was. The 12th, I believe, yeah. So Friday, August 12th. And
But what time was it in New England when it came out?
well, only Raven Shadow knows. So I believe that would have been 3 a.m. I think it's West Coast midnight, so it would be 3 a.m. for us. But Day Shift is rated R. It is 1 hour, 53 minutes. It is an action comedy fantasy. Really? I'd say horror. Not sure about that fantasy. I think whoever did that is in a fantasy world. But the film is directed by J.J. Perry, who is an interesting dude. This is his first film as a director, but J.J. Perry has a long history as a stunt coordinator, and he has done some pretty well-known things. Including John Wick. He's been involved in the John Wick series, and let's see. I'm just gonna try to quickly go through. He did some stuff for the Fast and the Furious, Falcon and Winter Soldier. He did one episode there. Oh, he was a stunt performer on that one. Okay, so he did. He still does his own stunt work as well, but yeah. So he's mostly been a stunt coordinator / stunt man, and he's had a pretty long history. And one thing that I'm a big fan of when it comes to J.J. Perry is his love of professional wrestling, which you see in almost like he's got to be a fan. I don't know that he is, but with all of the professional wrestling moves in his movies, it's got to be a thing. So there's quite a few in this that I'm sure we'll talk about, and it's good to see him get a chance to direct after doing a lot of stunt work and even acting. He's done a bunch of acting as well, mostly sort of like uncredited small roles and things like that. But in addition, the film stars Jamie Foxx, Dave Franco, Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who Star Wars fans might be familiar with that name because she is going to be playing Sabine Wren in the upcoming Ahsoka Tano show.
Shit.
Yeah.
I did not realize.
Which is pretty fucking awesome. So I'm excited about that. We also saw her in Guns Akimbo. She played the character of Nova in that movie that we did a few years ago now. So excited. I was excited to see her in another movie right before she is Sabine Wren. Let's see. Who else? We got Scott Adkins, who is sort of like one of the kings of B action right now. He's done so many like Boyaka, Undisputed, Accident Man. Let's see. I mean, he's been in so many of these sort of like B grade action. And when I say B grade, I don't mean that it's bad. It's just, it's not, theatrical stuff. It's, the equivalent of direct to video, which is now VOD. And he was in Triple Threat, which we did on the show a couple of years back. He was also in Ip Man 4. So he is a very pretty well known action actor, and he does a lot of his own stunts as well. He's very talented, and we also have, let's see, of course, Snoop Dogg. How could I forget Snoop Dogg? Snoop is in this. Peter Stormare, the always awesome Peter Stormare, who
we totally popped.
Who, speaking of Constantine, he was in that Constantine film with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing I ever saw him in.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Really? Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the first time I ever saw him, and so, whenever I see him, I'm always like, it's Lucifer. Look out.
He's so good. I let's see. The first thing I might remember him from was The Big Lebowski. Like, that might be the first time I was like, oh, that's him. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry, Fargo. And then he popped up in Big Lebowski. He was also in Dancer in the Dark with Björk.
Oh, shit.
And he actually sang in that, which was fucking awesome. He did a duet with Björk.
Can he sing?
Yeah, he can.
That's amazing. But can he sing like Crispin Glover? That's the question.
Not quite.
The bar has been set.
Although it's funny, on the album, the Dancer in the Dark album, Tom York did Peter Stormare's part on the album. But to his credit, Peter Stormare pulled it off in the movie. So, the guy has literally been in almost fucking everything. He's also in American Gods, which we mentioned previously. But yeah,
John Wick franchise. He was in that.
Yeah. I love Peter Stormare, so I'm always excited to see him pop up in something. And he was
really creepy in that game Until Dawn. Did you ever play that? I know you're a video game person.
I haven't actually. I'm familiar with it, but I didn't play it.
He's like the therapist that you meet with throughout the game.
Oh, okay.
And he like asks you about your fears, and then it plays into the game.
Nice.
He's really cool in it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, he's great. So it was really fun to see him pop up in this, and that's obviously we have some other actors and actresses, but those are the ones that stick out as people we would have seen. Actually, Dave Franco, I know I've seen him in something else, but I'm not.
He was in 21 Jump Street. He was on that show Other Space, which was criminally interesting because it was on the very briefly existing Yahoo streaming service.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
High School Musical.
Was he?
Yeah, Aries, yeah.
You a big fan, Aries?
Just casual.
All right, that's fair. Oh, he did play. I didn't see the Disaster Artist, but he played Mark in the Disaster Artist. So that's kind of fun. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But I see his name tossed around like he is like a known quantity, and I was kind of like, I don't really know Dave Franco, so
for a while he was more known because of his physique, and he kind of got away from that.
Oh, really?
What about his?
Are you thinking of Zac Efron?
No, they kind of both went hand in hand with that stuff. But
Ooh.
he was very cut for a while, and then he actually got a little chubby for a little bit.
I'm gonna look up Dave Franco topless and see what comes up.
Now
It's going to take you to the website I work at.
Is he James Franco's brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I guess I didn't put two and two together, but he does look a little bit like him. I could see that. Okay, yeah, there's definitely some shirtless pictures of him. I see. Okay, Aries.
I can't believe you ever doubted Aries. Like, oh, you're gonna let him impugn your character like that, Aries? Get him.
Yeah, I'm used to it at this point. I may have been wrong about the High School Musical thing with the getting those two guys mixed up.
In Rachel's America, Dave Franco was definitely in High School Musical.
Rachel is like Bobby D in Goodfellas, trying to egg on Joe Pesci right now. I like that.
Think I'm a clown? Do I make you laugh?
Good for you, Spider. Good for you.
All right, and the synopsis for this one: a hard-working, blue-collar dad who just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 10-year-old daughter. His mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is a front for his real source of income, hunting and killing vampires. So I saw this trailer, I want to say about a month ago. I hadn't heard anything about this. And someone like shared it, and I was like, I kind of like Jamie Foxx. Like, let me check this out. Snoop Dogg, all right, this looks cool. And, checked it out. I'm like, okay, like we got like a pool cleaner, all right. And then all of a sudden he's killing vampires. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just did not expect, like, just the way that I saw the trailer and the way that it sort of like it presented itself. It didn't seem like it was going to be that at all. And, day shift is kind of nondescript, like it could mean anything, right? So, yeah, it kind of took me by surprise. And I was like, all right, I definitely want to see this fucking movie. And then I saw J.J. Perry's name attached to it, and I was like, okay, I definitely want to see this. So, and then seeing some of the other folks involved, I figured it would be a kind of a fun one. And last week when we were when we were talking about the film we we're going to do, and we knew Rachel was going to come join us, I asked these guys, and they're like, let's do something fun. Let's do something that, maybe not so heavy.
Nothing too heavy.
Yeah. So we ended up choosing this one, and I think this will be fun to talk about. And, kind of a light film, not a lot of depth to the story, or maybe not a lot of socio-political discussion going to happen in this one, but maybe we can find a way. Maybe that's our challenge. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to think where we start with this one. Before I actually get too far, I want to say when I read the synopsis for this, I was thinking our friend and listener Slaygoth. I was like, this is fucking Slaygoth's movie, because Slaygoth cleans pools in Florida, not in California. And I was like, this is fucking his life story, right? He probably, it's a cover for him killing vampires, right, Raven Shadow?
Dude, he totally kills vampires, bro. like he'll text me so many times, when he's in parking lots and shit like that. Like, yeah. He's totally killing fucking Draculas down there.
Draculas. So, I mean, obviously there's a lot we can talk about with this. We'll talk about the movie. We'll talk about some of the vampire myth and lore that they use in this and whatnot. But I will say, I think that this had a very strong opening. We basically open with Jamie Foxx, who plays Bud, and he is cleaning a pool, and then he sort of sneaks off into another house and ends up, you can kind of tell he's hunting for somebody, and he gears all up and sets up the tripwire, or I guess not really a tripwire, maybe a head wire, neck wire, and then he encounters a vampire, which was an old lady. I think we found out later she was about 90 years old or something like that. And I'll have to say that I thought right off the bat, I loved the action in this. Like the way that the vampires moved and the way the camera moved with them sometimes, and the brutality of the fight, I thought was fucking awesome.
It's wild that this is a first-time director.
Yeah.
That was really surprising when you said that. I ran over to the IMDb and I was like, really? I mean, because I think the action scenes in this, whatever you end up thinking about it overall, the action scenes in this are really solid. Like they definitely have that sort of like Hong Kong style action. Yeah, that's impressive. Like there's his technical ability around these fight scenes is really impressive.
Yeah, and I'm sure, obviously he's worked on hundreds of films as a stuntman and stunt coordinator. So I'm sure he's been, next to the camera or whatever, but yeah, I agree. I think that it's really impressive for a first time out. Go ahead, Rain Shadow.
But there's a precedent to that too, because I mean, to my understanding, don't a lot of like stunt, like either supervisors or or whatever you want to call them, they will do the action sequences. I believe the dude that directed John Wick had done a lot of the stunts.
Yeah, it was Chad Stileski.
Yeah, it's like, okay, the director will film the fucking, shots, but you film the car chases. So I think they have a history of at least filming or directing action stuff, but now he's given a chance to involve, holding a coffee cup or driving to your mom's house or having that stuff. So they have some experience, but to take an action sequence and make it into a full picture with human interaction, that's still a jump, right? Still a jump.
Yeah. And so Chad Stileski has directed all of the John Wick films, but he also, the funny thing is, and this is sort of a Matrix thing, but he was the stuntman for Keanu Reeves in the original Matrix film. And in Matrix Resurrection, he played Chad, who was Trinity's husband in Resurrections, which is kind of a funny little in-joke because he was the stuntman for Neo, and now he's playing, the sort of fake human husband. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, he's done. He started out doing stunt work, and then he kind of graduated to being a coordinator. Like he did the a lot of the coordination on Matrix Revolutions, and just, that's kind of where he cut his teeth. And, but now he's one of the most in-demand directors because he did the 4 John Wick films, 4 which is currently in post-production. He is in pre-production on Highlander, which which is crazy. I don't know if it's just, I'm pretty sure it's a remake.
Yeah, I'm surprised they can remake it. I thought there could only be one.
I'm just gonna let that one breathe for a second. That's a good.
I hate my personality.
That was a good one. But Henry Cavill is rumored to star in that. And in addition to that, he's got so many films that are just on deck. Ghosts of Tsushima, which is based on the video game. I guess they're making a film. He's also attached to Gangsters of Shanghai, a TV series, and there's like 5 other films he's announced to be involved in. So he is very much in demand, Chad Stileski. He wasn't involved in this, so I don't want to spend too much time on him. But J.J. Perry and Chad Stileski worked a lot together on the John Wick films, so I think it's relevant, and they both made the jump from stunt people to directors. So yeah, but the way the action was shot was really well executed, and I loved how a lot of the camera followed some of the action. Like there's one scene where I think the vampire gets bent in half, and like we see from like the perspective of the vampire's head as it sort of like goes and does like almost like a 180. The camera does as she's being bent in half. There's a lot of blunt trauma in that, like heads and arms and bodies, and just getting slammed against walls and floors and tables, and and whatever. So I think it's really like kind of a visceral sort of feel to the action, and I definitely appreciated that. In terms of like the fight scenes, like there wasn't a lot of, and I'm not saying the choreography wasn't good, but it just wasn't. It was like you're fighting a vampire, so there's not going to be a lot of hand to hand stuff. I think the action that was in it was really good, and they did a really cool job of making the vampires feel a little different, like the kind of head honcho vampire. Like I like the way that she moved in this. So yeah, I think that opening scene really set kind of a good tone.
And I wasn't sure if, when I first going into it, I didn't know anything about it aside from this is the movie we're doing, press play. I wasn't sure if like vampires were a thing, like if it was a thing that was known and that was his job to be like a cleaner, so to speak. Like are normies and civilians aware that vampires are in this world, or is it something that's hidden, like John Carpenter's vampires, for lack of a better term? And so I was surprised that it was a secret thing, as we learned through Jamie Foxx's character and his relationship to his family.
Yeah, and so there's a lot that I like about this, and then there's some stuff that I don't necessarily like that we'll get to. I don't want to start there, but did any of you guys want to comment on the opening scene or anything related to that?
I mean, it's really primarily an action scene, and
Yeah.
and like I think it sets a tone for the film, like where the strengths of this film really lie. I think overall, visually, this movie looks pretty great. And you're introduced to that right from the start when he's out in the backyard. Like when you think of like vampire movies, they're usually dark, shadowy, sort of gothic, and this thing is extremely sun bleached, which I think is an interesting kind of take on the genre. And I actually really visually like this movie quite a bit. Like the temperature of the color of it, like it feels incredibly warm and hot, which to me is kind of like a subversion of your typical vampire film.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's called Day Shift, but I think, like you have very stereotypical ideas of what a vampire film looks like. And this subverts it in ways that I think is visually very appealing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think that it has a different feel to it. It's very well lit for the most part. Like there's very like really the only time it gets dark is kind of towards the end in terms of like night, So I think that was kind of a an interesting decision to sort of set it apart from some other films. Let's see. I guess we'll talk a little bit about the narrative, because then we have Bud, and Bud, as we find out, is sort of estranged from his wife. Like they are not together, but he plays an active role in his daughter's life and picks her up and and brings her places and whatnot. And he isn't always on time, and for good reason. Or so it seems, anyways. And but you can see he definitely has some issues with being a good father and being honest. But I think he was trying to protect his family, probably, from what he actually does. But so I guess we'll get to the point here where I'll talk about some of the things I didn't like. Like this was such a paint by numbers plot.
Yeah.
That it's like every like trope about like an action movie about like sort of like a dad trying to do right by his kid and his family and to try to make ends meet and all that. And and that's fine. Like, I mean, doing cinematic shorthand just so you kind of get what's going on without having to have too much exposition is fine. But I feel like it was just a little too basic. Like like he's he is on the outs with the union, the vampire killers union, I guess, and He's trying to get back in because they pay higher rates, and so he has to be like a goody two shoes and stick to the rules, which he has trouble doing. And I don't know, like it's very by the numbers in terms of the plot of how it kind of shakes out.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say this is fucking everything everywhere all at once. Not even for a minute. But I thought it actually introduced some cool new elements to vampire mythology.
Well, I'm talking about the narrative. Like, I'm talking about his arc. I'm talking about Bud's arc about being a dad and being estranged from his wife and trying to make things right and all that. And it's also had like the like asshole boss, like almost like the police commissioner kind of thing,
Yeah. This feels like a movie from another era a little bit in terms of his narrative and a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
Like this could be like an Eddie Murphy joint
Right.
practically.
Yeah.
Even the villain feels like a 80s, like it's basically like every 80s villains who's like some sort of Latinx sort of underworld leader, except for in this case, she has a dress on as opposed to just being some. It's very dated, and like it's also in the way that it treats the fact that he's been lying to his wife. There's like no consequences for it whatsoever, and no like second thought to that. Like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine that you've been lying to me our entire marriage. It's just it feels like there's this really glossy edge to it, and like aesthetically very modern, but in terms of its narrative, it's incredibly dated. Yeah.
Brave Joe, you gonna say something?
Rachel said about being regardless of it being about vampires, certain elements of a job, yes, is very dated. I agree with. I do agree with that.
Yes.
I do. You're right. Like in what does the wife? They have a pretty big fucking house. Yes, I do agree with that. I was kind of coming from more of like a weird secret identity. That's why I was questioning: are vampires a thing in this world, and people know that's the thing, or is it secret? So, knowing that Jamie Foxx's character is keeping his job, air quotes, a secret, could be similar to what certain superheroes do. You don't understand.
Well, sure,
somehow,
and especially the fact that like a lot of times superheroes like the greatest weakness they have is those close to them, because if the villains find out, so I mean, I get that part of keeping them separate. Like I get it,
that's what. Okay.
Yeah, my bigger problem was just sort of with like it was. And like I said, it could have been a choice that maybe they wanted to make a film like that, kind of like what Rachel said, like a very sort of dated narrative, kind of an 80s style film with a new sort of coat of paint on it and like cool action sequences. And if that's what they set out to do, then they absolutely nailed it. But I feel like in this day and age, we can maybe like move narratives forward a little bit and have them not just rely upon old tropes and things we've seen over and over and over. It made me not really care about Bud, because I mean, not that like I need to care about this character all that much. And I didn't dislike the character. I thought he was fine, but I didn't really have a rooting interest, because I was just, like I knew that he was going to be fine in this. Like it was one of those things where maybe if they had raised the emotional stakes a little bit, or had something that wasn't, cut paste, ad infinity, like maybe we could have got something a little bit more interesting. But I feel like the narrative was sort of more of a vehicle to get you from action set piece to action set piece. So
yeah. Yeah, I think there's actually a handful of really good things about this. I had very, very low expectations going in, but I was like, whatever. I like a dumb, fun movie. And there were things that I actually did really like about the film, but I think the issue is the script. Like the storytelling is where it falls down. Visually, like we've talked about, looks really good. I really love the soundtrack for the film. Like I'm
me
from
too, yeah.
California and of a certain age, so this thing is just like a nostalgia bomb in terms of its soundtrack. Like when California 11 came on, I was like, yes, this thing slaps. I'm about this. And I think that the casting is really good. Like I think both Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco have a lot of charisma and they do a lot with what they're given. And I think they actually have chemistry, you know? I'd love to see them get a second shot in a different film because I do think that they have a good like buddy chemistry in this. The issue is just the just like you said, like the roteness of this plot. Like there's some cool world building. I think that you're kind of alluding to Raven Shadow with the mythology of the vampires and like these sort of underground structures around how vampires are hunted and the bureaucracy of it, I think is kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Vampire hunting bureaucracy was not something I was expecting. But it just needed a smarter, more modern script, I think.
I think if they had spent more time on the union and almost eliminated the wife and daughter altogether, this would have far improved this movie because it would have been something unique rather than an outdated cookie cutter movie.
Yeah, and I kind of. Sorry, go ahead, Raven Shadow. Go ahead.
No, that's actually not bad because you for some reason we see Jamie Foxx, Bud Lebowski or something like. I'm pretty sure that name makes me think that Jamie Foxx was not the original person for this role.
Jablonski.
Yeah, Bud Jablon. If I see character Bud Jablonski, I don't think Jamie Foxx. Just saying. Yeah. But nevertheless, we find out that he somehow he done fucked up and got out of the union. Yeah, I think I really am on board with the kind of bland family storytelling that we've seen before. If it wasn't vampires, it could be get a new job, or I got to get that record contract, or I have to get the whatever thing to keep my family from moving, kind of stuff. Sure.
Yeah, it seemed, I don't know, it just seemed kind of arbitrary. Like I gotta make $10,000 so I can prove to my I don't know if they were ex or just separated. I think they were just separated, but I need to prove to my wife that I can provide and and like I can take care of things. And he needed like $10,000, like what, $5,000 for like the school and $5,000 for her dental work. Yeah. So
and get it 5 days.
Right. Yeah. So, I get it. It's sort of like, it just was kind of like trite. It was just like, yeah, okay. Like, it wasn't really like a huge driving force. Like I almost would have liked it better if, if there was something with Snoop who played Big J or Big John, and maybe he needed some help, and his buddy has been kicked out of the union and he needed to try to get back in to help his friend, or something like that. Like even something like that might have been a little bit better, but I guess in this case they needed to have stakes for him. Literally stakes. I didn't mean that pun, but I'll take it. But it's just sort of like, I don't know, it's just so overdone that it's just like, yeah, whatever. Like we know his wife and daughter are going to be okay. Like it's just one of those things, whether or not they end up being, it's just, that's what you think. So I felt like there's no real threat at all. And it just, and because of that, it really kind of diminished any tension, emotional tension, I will say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's no twists and turns in this that you couldn't have guessed along the way, I don't think. Like it pretty much follows that same sort of pattern. What's interesting is, like, I know we were like, we're going to see if we can try to pull some sort of socio-political thing out of this. I almost feel like something existed and it lives on the cutting room floor based on a couple of lines that our villain, because the villain is so underbaked. It's kind of a shame because
Yeah.
She almost hints at interesting things a couple times throughout it, like talking about the history of how vampires were worshipped here and how like there was a religion based around them. And then there's stuff about like immigration where she wasn't able to go back and get her daughter. Like there's these little hints of some sort of subplot here that would have given potentially some like actual like emotional and basis to what she's doing and why she's doing it. Like the bringing together of all the different kinds of vampires and the war that they're putting together. Like you never get any real solid answers around that in a way that makes me feel like it's been excised from the film, but they couldn't figure out how to quite cut all the dialogue. So there's like little hints of something that was there. I feel like that could have actually potentially been interesting. Like if she had some reasons beyond motherhood, which is like the most basic and boring plot line you can give a female villain. Like there was something there around like maybe colonialism that got cut.
Yeah.
Did you catch that at all, or am I just
No,
really reaching?
I don't,
Which I could be.
I don't think you're reaching. I think that there was, yeah, and I think you're right. Maybe it's something that could have ended up on the cutting room floor, because I did feel there was something interesting there. I think the introduction of the villain was very underwhelming. Like, you know, she's a real estate mogul, and that's how sort of like they introduce her. I would have liked to have seen some sort of, you know, maybe a more menacing introduction or something. But yeah, I think unfortunately that character just didn't really work for me. It wasn't really seen as much of a threat. But there was something kind of underlying, like interesting going on there. And yeah, like you're right about that. I feel like there's almost like a caste system like in place among the vampires that, so this movie hints at a larger world, but it keeps us like an arm's length away. And I feel like if they let us in a little bit more, I think that would have been more interesting. So
yeah, I mean, even the real estate agent could have been cool if we were like talking about like vampire gentrification. Like there's stuff there. It's like almost there, but it just never actually textually makes it to screen.
Because they
I think they probably shifted the tone at some point and made it more comedic. So they took a lot of just that, you know, it's in a comedic movie to have it go down some of these rabbit holes, probably just would have been too much. Because even for this comedic movie, it was lacking comedic elements,
like jokes.
Because I really get the feeling that they couldn't quite make up their mind, and was like decided to go towards more the comedic, but couldn't really settle on it and couldn't get everything out of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. And by no means do I think this is a bad film. Like I actually liked a lot about it, but I just feel like it could have been more and it could have been better. There's an opportunity there, and not every movie, especially an action movie, a lot of times you just need a very simple plot. They're very much popcorn movies. If you have to think too much, like it's almost like you're failing, you know? So like I totally get that. I just wish there was a little bit something more to it. And because there's a big portion of the film, like I would say right after after the opening, there's a good almost 30 minutes of no action, you know, and that's all well and good. But for an action, you know, for a movie that's predominantly an action movie, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, or if you're not going to give us action, give us a little bit more of the world building. And you know, he could have gone on like a mission. And also one thing I'll say about the Union, I loved a lot of the setup of that. But the thing is, like, I didn't really understand how did they function. Like, I felt like he was still staking out, once again, no pun intended, you know, his own targets. And all you do is you bring in teeth. Like, I feel like there should be something more organized. Like they, you know, almost like a CIA, Central Intelligence Agency of like vampiric activity, where maybe he gets a mission or there's bounties or something like that. Like I felt like it was just a weird setup. Did I miss something? Or
well, I did get the feeling that he was supposed to get pre-approval for everything he did, and he just didn't.
Okay.
Because like that with the whole, they were breaking down. You broke this rule. Well, actually, in this case, he could have entered without permission. Blah blah. There was a lot of like, double talk with the rules and everything. But I do feel it wasn't hashed out entirely. I think you were kind of left to your own to try to figure it out.
I mean, I think this throws a lot at you, and it never really like executes on it. Like we find out about this union, we find out about whatever's happening with the vampires coming together. We find out about like 9 different kinds of vampires. There's all this. It's almost like, what is the saying? Like its reach exceeds its grasp, or maybe that's backwards. But like it
Or you
throws
could
so much
say
at you.
It's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Well, I'm a lady, so I would never, but but yeah, I think it has a lot of ideas, but it doesn't necessarily ever really execute any of those ideas fully. And so you end up coming away from it being like, wait, what? Hold on, what? I can't quite you can feel the desire to start a franchise here. Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like it's laying all these breadcrumbs because they're like, okay, if this does well, we've got a series of films that we can make. But what ends up, it feels messy to me. I felt like it was very, very messy in its world building, even though there were a lot of interesting ideas in there. Like it was overly complicated in a way that was a little frustrating because I was more interested in some of the things that they didn't necessarily circle back to. Like like I said, I liked the vampire hunting bureaucracy. I thought that was interesting. It's a little Men in Black, but I like the execution of it. I think Snoop Dogg's character is one of the best and most interesting, and we barely get any of him, but I would love to know more about Big John, which, by the way, should be your only handle. I'm just putting it right now.
Big John.
When the money rolls in, I want 10%.
You drive a tough bargain. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, and I don't want to, continue. I don't want to bag on this movie too much.
No.
It's one of those things that I feel like they really had something, and I feel like they could have done something better, like something more.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, and we don't know this, like the behind the scenes. Maybe Netflix didn't want to take a chance on something that, was trying to break too much new ground. Maybe they wanted a basic story. Maybe that's what they wanted. And definitely I think there is some world building going on here. Like there is, but I would have liked to have seen more. Like that's what I liked. I liked a lot of the stuff about the vampires and like it seemed like vampires were like almost wiped out of this area, and now they're trying to bring them back in. And like in a way, like I almost had sympathy for the villain because like the way she put it, it was kind of like, oh well, all right, well maybe vampires should be there,
Well, she had the same feeling that Bud had. And I thought the lead vampire had great motivation. Much like John Wick. Killed his dog, stole his car. Yep. Makes perfect sense for a dude. And I don't think we've really seen that. I don't think we've seen a maternal Lord of Vampires before in a movie that I can think of. And I thought that was kind of interesting why she hated Bud. And I liked the ritual that he would have to do, or the hunters would have to do when they get home about the, when you kill a vampire, there's a gas that gets on you. They can smell it. That
was cool too. Yeah, definitely.
And
more and more talking about it. Yeah, like this did not need the family element at all, and it could have been a lot harsher and darker without it.
Mm-hmm.
But still have a payoff of Bud's just trying to survive or get back in the game. Like obviously, what did he do that got him kicked out of the union?
They broke it down.
Yeah, they gave like a few things, like he got someone killed, or like he just broke so many rules. Yeah.
But then so he's just a loose cannon, but yet he loves his daughter and wife so much.
Honestly, like the way we're talking, like a good opening would have been show him getting kicked out of the union, like what he did, what did he do?
Yeah.
And maybe it was justified. Maybe he actually saved somebody in doing that, so that, and then that way you almost feel sympathy for him because he's, he did something that he felt was right, and and it lost him his job, and now he's trying to get back. So something like that, you could do like an opening like that where there is a vampire fight, and but it could have had a more emotional impact potentially.
But now he's doing the whole pool cleaning gimmick, or like he's hunting vampires on his own, doing more less technology and more like stalking, kind of stuff. Maybe some contacts, maybe he knows areas that way, so he's more like undercover, doing his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we just rewrite the whole movie?
Yeah, let's do it. Get JJ.
Cut us a check, Netflix.
Yeah, we'll get JJ Perry on the line.
Because, I do believe you see how reckless he is throughout the movie, and I believe that was kind of self-explanatory as to why the problems he had when he got kicked out. Like he doesn't think beyond the immediate. One of the things was bumping, kicking up a nest.
Yeah.
And what did we see after he got back into the union? He kicked up a nest because he was just reckless. It seems to be how he is.
Right. And the film doesn't seem to interested in reckoning with that at all. Like it's just like, nope, you need to be on board with this. Everything he's doing is justified, which is where I'm saying like in the ways that this is kind of a little bit dated. I will say like I'm being hard on this film, but I think there are a lot of really like the pieces are there. You know what I mean? Like I'm interested to see what this director does next. I'm interested to see Jamie Foxx and Dave Franco do something else together. Like I can see the potential in a lot of things. It's just doesn't quite come together in this, but like it's not terrible. It's just not like you can just see that the potential is there and it misses the mark, which is why I feel like I'm being really harsh about it. But I didn't hate it. I didn't have a terrible time watching it by any means. I just think it was a little messy.
Yeah.
And his wife is actually right. She just totally leave this dude.
Oh,
yeah, but not Florida. Don't go to Florida. What are you thinking?
Oh, yeah.
And if they wanted to include like sort of a feel good sort of like, relationship thing, maybe after, if we go with the idea we were talking about, him getting kicked out of the union and whatever that whole opening was, maybe because of that, maybe his wife did find out what he actually did. And then they moved to Florida and, and then eventually maybe towards the end of this, maybe he could reconcile that and then they could get back together and then there's kind of a happy ending. But, I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like there was some unnecessary sort of character beats here that were meant to make you feel sympathetic towards him. Because, we can all sort of relate or, most of us can relate to being, like fuck ups at time and kind of messing things up with people and, and whatever, like we can all relate to that. But I just feel like we didn't see it. So in a way, like we don't have that, like the context of necessarily what it was. So I feel like the impact wasn't really quite there. So yeah, once again, I know sounds like we're being a little bit hard on this movie. But at the end of the day, it's kind of an action movie. And I feel like it got all that right. Like there's some outstanding stuff in this. I love like the chase in this when he's in the truck and he has his daughter on the iPad with the headphones. I thought that was like one of the coolest chases I've seen in a long time. Like total, like it looked like it was all practical. Like I don't know if there was much CGI in like that was actual people jumping on motorcycles and cars, going off jumps and stuff. I thought that was great. And some of the camera shots were gorgeous. The way they moved around above and like, around the chase. So a lot of that stuff I thought was super well done. That was a standout for me. I do. I did love the fight scene when they did sort of stir up the nest, where we had the Nazarian brothers, played by Steve Howie and Scott Adkins. I want to know more about those characters, right? Like that was kind of sort of hinted at this sort of thing, but we don't get a lot about them. And the other thing is, especially like Heather, played by Natasha Lou Bordizzo, like she's kind of like his neighbor, and then all of a sudden now like she's playing a much larger role, but we don't know anything about her at all, and we're supposed to be along for the ride with her. Like that to me was a misstep. So I feel like a lot of these sort of character beats and relationships between the characters, aside from, I will say, Bud and Seth were awesome. Like I think that one had enough room to breathe, and that was sort of like the heart of this film, and that worked really well. But other than that, like they could have really developed a little bit more about his neighbor Heather. And then when they do team up, it's kind of like I didn't really understand why they were teaming up. Like she was just like apologetic, and then all of a sudden, let's go. All right, let's go. Let's go kill her. You know, like it just seemed like it was like so like matter of fact. Like, yeah, okay, let's go do it.
Yeah, because the plot required it. Is basically the summation of a lot of things in this film. Because the plot demanded it, we'll just go ahead and do it. I mean,
yeah,
it's really just, this lives and dies on the action scenes. If you're here for the action scenes, you're going to have a good time. I think the use of contortionists was really an interesting touch. I really like that a lot. The pace and the sort of like almost percussive rhythm of the fight scenes was a lot of fun and like kind of satisfying to watch. It's just the plot. It's just the plot and the writing that where it stumbles.
Yeah,
but the fight scenes are good.
Yeah, and honestly, like for me, that's what the kind of the glue that holds it together was the action sequences. Yeah, let me check on the chat real quick, because I know Creepy Girl has looks like Creepy Girl just she said I broke my window across my hands and blood was everywhere. Oh my god.
Holy shit. Creepy Girl, no.
I think you should call the ambulance or something.
Is that what the movie you're doing right now?
Yeah. She said was trying to open it and slammed down, didn't punch it or anything. Jeez.
Jesus, that's... Listen, there's easier ways to get out of the review. Just turn it off.
No kidding. Well, hopefully everything's okay, Creepy Girl. She has her own horror movie going on there. But she's a trooper. She's still commenting on the movie. She said
she's still got one good hand.
Yeah. She said, let's see, missed whole review. I felt like the movie was too long, a lot of lag in parts, but amazing fight scenes and cool vampires. And she says, well, you expect a lot with the all-star cast and amazing special effects. I thought it would be funnier too. And Corny said the neighbor stuff happened too quick. Yeah, so kind of agreeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel if they had like that first act, if they had cut that down a little bit with some of the stuff with the wife and daughter, and even though I love the scene with Peter Stormare where he was going to try to sell the teeth, and there was some cool stuff. Like I liked how they were able to examine the teeth and find out what kind of vampire it was, and how old it was, and how elders fetch more money, and whatnot. Like that stuff was cool. I wanted more of that, and I love the way, like you mentioned, the contortionism, and I love the way some of them moved. And even when they're in that nest, and that one came out of like the vent, to get Seth, like that was really fucking cool. Like there's some really good stuff, and they even talk about, I forget the different types, but there's like 5 different types of vampires, I think he says. There's like I don't remember, like Eastern, like I don't remember all the different ones, but and then spider vampire, yeah. Yep.
Uber, I think.
Yeah. And then
those are the ones that drive cars.
They bring you places.
Yes.
And they talked about sort of like a new hybrid or something like that, and I thought that stuff was real interesting. I would have loved to seen them expand that and expand the Union, give us a little bit more about what's going on there.
Mhm.
I almost felt like they worked the Union in as sort of like oh my god, I can't talk. An analogy for like John Wick, how they had like
Yeah.
that whole thing where
Yeah.
I just
The Continental or whatever. Yeah.
and I
Mhm.
liked the idea of the Union. I thought it was really interesting, but I feel like they could have done more with it,
Mhm.
and it would have been more interesting. So I think there's a lot here. There's a lot to like. There's a lot of really interesting world building, but I feel like they ignored the most interesting parts and focused on the most boring.
Mm. Yeah, it's weird. They have such great casting in this, and I feel like there are a lot of people they just don't capitalize. Like they have Peter Stormare, they have Snoop Dogg, they have Megan Good, all of these really great actors, and I don't know that they ever really get their due in this. Like, why do you cast Megan Good if you're just gonna have her be like, oh, we're late again, end of lines? I don't know.
See, I thought Snoop came off really, really good in this.
He was
and
awesome, but he only has like 10 minutes of screen time.
If that.
Yeah.
I mean, he came off more badass than Boba Fett ever did until the fucking Book of Boba Fett did. He did more than that motherfucker ever did in that fucking trilogy. Sorry, Wolfie. But I like the coat. I like the Gatling gun, and I like his ending. A little nod to another maybe a vampire flick, if you watched during the 80s. And I want to see his story after this. But I thought Snoop was awesome as the heavy. Like he was like Hawk to fucking Spencer for Hire. He was fucking he was the fucking dude. Right?
Yeah, I think
I
I was gonna say I think a lot of that stuff with Snoop and even like with him being like a loyal friend, like I want to know a little bit more about the backstory there. Like what why is he so loyal to Bud, who seems like a fuck up, and also like I said, the character of Heather, like she ends up being kind of a badass. And we have no idea about her whatsoever until like it's almost like speaking of Star Wars, it's almost like Palpatine's returned. It's like he tries to summarize like one huge plot point by saying, Emperor Palpatine has returned. With this, it's almost like, yeah, I'm a vampire. Like, like it was just like, yeah. It was just so matter of fact, and it could have used so much more.
Yeah, almost who's that fucking dude from Fright Night? That fucking guy. Yeah, that fucking thing.
Chris Sarandon?
Nah, yeah, fucker.
What, the dude from 976 Evil?
Yes, that fucking
Evil Ed.
Evil Ed, yeah.
I hate that dude.
You hate Evil
What?
Ed?
How can you hate Evil?
Wow,
What's
this
wrong with you?
controversial takes tonight. I think we need to stop talking about the movie and get into this. This is a shocking turn of events.
I don't think I like Evil Ed. I don't think I do. I think I liked Franco's brother more.
Wow. Well, you can have that opinion, but to not like Evil Ed that's fucked up, man.
Drawing a line in the sand.
We're gonna have to unpack that on a later date.
Yeah, talk about some social-political. Oof, that's a deep one there. Trying to think what else we can dive into here. I also liked the sort of black market sort of like, Peter Stormare's character of like, kind of selling stuff on like the black market of, selling vampire teeth and whatnot. And, and then the sort of villainous talks to him about how, he kind of betrayed, the vampires or whatever. So there's some backstory there too that we didn't really get much about, So I just feel like leaving us hanging on a lot of this backstory that could have made the characters more interesting, and focusing on the relationship with Bud, I just feel was like just not a good decision. Obviously they probably couldn't have done much more than 2 hours. This honestly probably would have made a good series on Netflix. I'm obviously they want to have some films and some series as well, but I feel like this probably would have made a better series because they could have explored more.
I mean, they had enough ideas for it. Like I think you're right. I think a series would have worked, because then you could have really dug into like the tensions between him and the boss, the backstory, like all those things that we just get like little teeny tiny hints at, grains of something really interesting. We could have teased out a lot more from it. I think that's the move.
Well, a huge thing too is the sunscreen aspect of it.
Yeah. All of a sudden it's just like endangered tortoise.
Yeah.
Sunscreen. Just thrown out there. We're just throwing it out there.
SPF 100 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it's a little bit of a spoiler, so I'll tread lightly, but one character sort of, gets turned, and then like I'm just kind of curious, like what distinguishes him from something else or whatever.
There's a line earlier about one of the types of vampires. Like they just sort of, as soon as it happened, I was like, Chekhov's exposition point.
Yeah.
Chekhov's blank, because they go to the point where they're like, oh, this particular vampire can survive X.
Mm-hmm.
And then when X happens, you're like, oh, that's what they're referring to. You're right.
And
Chekhov's Dracula.
Chekhov's Dracula.
And like some of the funniest bits, I think, were more physical, like, with the head gag, I guess I'll say. Like, I thought that was actually kind of funny, but we didn't really see much of that. I would have preferred to see a little bit more of, some stuff like that. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of good, and then there's a lot of like questionable. But all that said, like a lot of the fight scenes ended up being really cool. Like like I talked about that fight scene with the nest, where it was like, where we had the brothers that were there, the Nazarian brothers. I thought that was a really great scene, and the end scene, I guess, was okay, but I feel like that was far from the best action scene. And a lot of times you want to have a kind of a grand finale, right? If you're doing an action movie, I feel like that was maybe the weakest of all the action scenes, honestly.
Yeah. Kind of peaked at the nest.
Yeah. So I feel like they, like that could have had a better ending as well. But all things considered, I mean, this is I'm glad something like this exists, and I thought it was a, mostly fun flick. So, I'm not mad that I saw it, for sure.
Right. Like how I feel about it as a watcher versus how I feel about it as a critic are two different things.
Yeah.
Like it's a definitely turn your brain off kind of thing, and you'll be just fine. But like when you have to do analysis of it, you're like, oh, I'm about to get harsh as hell. Yeah.
Do you guys have any other thoughts? Well, I guess Rachel brought up the soundtrack a little bit. I thought the soundtrack was real good.
Oh yeah.
Especially the end, like hearing Snoop, I was like, all right, it was bound to happen, right? Like, I thought that
I'd be insulted if it didn't. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just very excited when I heard body count. I was like, wow, we are really going there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was kind of marking out for the body count. But yeah.
And actually,
some ODB. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
ODB was killer. Yeah.
I love all of that, like 90s, Southern California rap is so great. The West Coast rap is fun. Yeah.
So let's see. Anything else you guys want to bring up about this before we kind of move on to the verdict? Aries, anything else?
No.
No, I think we said it all.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well let's see. Let's do the verdict on this one then.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Day Shift was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts. Let's start with our guest, Rachel.
I think it's a very, very, very soft treat. Like, it's like a chocolate covered raisin. Like, I ate it. It's fine. I don't think I will go back for seconds. Soft.
Raven
soft
Shadow.
sweet
Is that something you hear often or not? Or you good? No, I'm sorry. Just kidding. I didn't mean to poke fun.
Are you a big chocolate covered raisin fan, or was it the soft?
Yeah, he doesn't eat candy.
I heard it through the grapevine. You know what I mean? What are you talking about?
All right, so I'm sorry, Rachel. You gave your soft treat? That's right. Let's go to Aries.
Yeah, I mean, this movie has its faults, but it does have a lot of good going on. If you just need a mindless action movie, check it out. It is a bit long for a mindless action movie, but there's a lot of good action in it, so check it out. It is a treat. And once again, I'm going to have to duck out of a episode early, so I'm just going to say goodbye now.
Bye, buddy.
All right,
Goodbye.
Aries.
Feel better.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, Raven Shadow. How about yourself?
So, one thing watching this, I wonder if it wasn't for streaming services, would we get movies like this? Would we get movies like this, or I like the Anthony Mackie Netflix picture where he's in the ambulance with Crossbones. What's his name? Grillo, Frank Grillo.
Yeah, Frankie Grills. Yep.
Grills. These platforms are giving like major league stars, and Jamie Foxx is a movie star, right? I loved him from his In the Manor. Jamie Foxx, I Might Need Security comedy special, and then also what was the picture he did? Oh, we loved him in Great White Hype with Sam Jackson. He was great in that movie. So we're big fans of Jamie Foxx. He's got to be in his 50s by now, right? But I like that these streaming services are giving us, major league actors that would be in movies that maybe wouldn't be in their regular wheelhouse. I thought this was a lot of fun. Yes, I agree. They're talking about it. Definitely some plots that didn't need to happen. But overall, I thought there was a lot of interesting stuff here. And I could think that people could maybe cherry pick some of this and add to vampire mythology. Because there were some cool things, and I wish we could have seen more. The last organized vampire hunting group, I think, was John Carpenter's Vampires that I can think of, and that was run by the Vatican. And fuck those guys. So I'd much rather a union with dudes to handle that. But I thought it was fun, great cast, good ideas, and I'd love to see a night shift. I'd love to see a,
dawn shift.
Day, dawn. Yeah.
Army shift.
The dusk shift.
Dusk shift. Yeah, there you go.
Working Sundays. You know what I mean? Like, I is it a masterpiece? No. Did I have a lot of fun? Yes. So I would say it's a definitely a treat.
All right. And for me, yeah, I'm still going to call this a treat. As I said, with action movies, I feel like I hold it up to a slightly different standard because, you kind of want to get from one action set piece to the other. I do feel like I don't know about wasted, but they spent a little bit too much time between the first and the second action sequences, and so for me, I feel like they could have done a little bit more in that regard, and I would have liked to have seen more of the world building, because I think they actually created a super interesting world, but like the characters that they focused on were like kind of the least interesting of the entire world. So, even Seth I thought was kind of an interesting character. He was sort of like, what was his role initially? He was like a clerk or something like that, like behind the desk. I don't know, but
a union delegate, like
a union delegate, yeah. And he was, I thought his arc was actually pretty fun, but like
great gimmick, great running gag.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, Jamie Foxx's, he didn't really change at all. Like, his character barely went through a change at all. Right. He still kind of lied and cheated and got his way into the union and was still breaking rules and, was still lying to his wife and his daughter, like, up until right at the end. And I don't know, I just feel like his character was the least interesting and went through the least change. And I just would have liked to focus more on other characters. I liked his performance in this. Like, I thought he played it well, and I liked the sort of like back and forth between him and Seth. I thought was really fun. But there's a lot of kind of disparate parts in this that don't necessarily fit well together. I think he's a good action star in this, and he's a good for the role. I just feel like what he was given just wasn't up to par with some of the other stuff that was going on in this movie. So so I'll say it's a treat, because it's a fun kind of lighthearted popcorn movie, and I think it was you, Raven Shadow, that mentioned one of you had mentioned, would there be this if there wasn't streaming? I feel like this would have been a film that probably, especially considering Jamie Foxx or someone of his stature, I think this would have been a theatrical release, but it probably would have been one of those like $50 million budget kind of movies, which I don't know what the budget of this was. Probably wasn't too far off from that, I'm guessing. But, and it probably would have did pretty decent at the box office, and, but the thing is, being on Netflix like this, it's getting in front of more eyes because anybody can see it. So it's interesting in that regard. Like, I feel this is a theatrical level release, but I feel like the impact of the film would have been far less if it was put out in theaters. Whereas going direct to Netflix, I feel like it can be, like it could be trending. It's one of those ones that people are going to start talking about, and then word of mouth is going to get out, and then people are going to go see it because it's easy just to plop on your couch and, hit the remote on, as opposed to, planning to go out to the movie theater and planning it all out,
Dude, I saw Lawnmower Man and Skinwalkers in theaters. I would have seen this picture when I was fucking 15, in the Webster Square. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny. I think I saw both of those movies at a drive-in play at the same time.
Real?
Did they come out the same year?
Probably close, right?
I gotta check now. It's funny. There was a Lawnmower Man reference on the Star Wars show last night too.
Really?
Yeah. That was so Lawnmower Man.
Time has finally come. We're ready to go into the metaverse.
The great, well, speaking of Max Headroom too, make that movie, Lawnmower Man versus Max Headroom.
What was the other one? Skinwalkers? Is that what you said?
Skinwalkers, yeah, they were like the wear fucking.
Yeah. I typed in Skinwalker. That's why. Skinwalkers. So Lawnmower Man was 92.
Yeah.
It keeps wanting to give me Skinwalker.
Because it's based on a Steve picture.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about Sleepwalkers? The one with the werecats?
I mean, it was Sleepwalkers.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, same year, 92. So I think you mentioning this.
Damn, that's a hell of a double feature,
yeah,
right
I think
there.
I saw both of them at a drive-in.
Yep, you're right. Sleepwalkers. Yep.
I kind of feel like they were trying to, maybe this was meant to fill the hole of like Bright after everything went down with that, where they had to like kill that franchise.
Oh.
I wonder if they were trying to like reboot it a little bit, but with vampires, essentially.
Yeah.
It feels like it. I don't know if that's true, but it feels true.
Bright still on Netflix?
Bright still is on Netflix, but there was a sequel in the works before all the stuff came out about Max Landis, and so they killed it. And this kind of feels like it's in that lane almost.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of the Will Smith stuff.
Yeah, that's the Will. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that didn't help.
Yeah, I think it was killed before, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because the Max Landis stuff was like a year or two ago. 2 years, maybe. Maybe more. Evil Corny says the Blood Pack in Blade 2, Raven Shadow.
Thank you.
He said that 5 minutes ago, so. But yeah, so yeah, for me, I think I finished, but it's a treat. It's I think that there's definitely enough here, especially for action fans. If you're a fan of J.J. Perry or the John Wick style, I think that there's some really strong action. And ultimately, I mean, that's sort of, you come for the action, you stay for the boring narrative. It's kind of like...
All right, Netflix, time to remake the poster. We have a tagline.
Ravenchild likes to come for the action and stay for the boring narrative.
True, that's what I tell my house guests.
Is that what you told Cody?
Yeah. Well, Cody's down, dude. Don't fucking tell me.
I talked to Cody this week briefly, and I gave him another recommendation for a vegan joint up in Vermont. I forgot that I had went to one when I was up there, so I gave him a recommendation. He's going to check it out.
Did he ask about me?
No, not once.
Why couldn't you just say yes?
Because I'm not going to lie.
Why not?
You know what? Get Cody on the phone. He needs to explain himself. Aries is gone. We got room in the call.
Yeah. All right. So that is going to do it for our discussion of Day Shift. And next week, we're going to have another guest, another frequent guest co-host. We're going to be joined by Arkham Josh. And Arkham Josh is going to join us to discuss the aforementioned Glorious from director Rebecca McKendry. And it is going to be appearing on Shudder today. Look at that. I knew you'd know.
Yep.
If anyone would know, it's you.
That one's going to be fun. There is a lot to unpack in that one.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah.
It's the smartest glory hole movie ever made.
Wow. It might be the only glory hole movie ever made.
Someone doesn't know where to go on the internet.
That's not true.
I guess I mean.
My sweet summer child.
You're like a baby Jesus, so innocent. That's so nice.
Listen to you. You don't know how to fucking navigate the internet.
I gotta get some directions. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Well, he goes to MapQuest and then he puts in.
He goes to TomTom. Show me how to find glory holes. That's not the internet, Raven Shadow. That's your GPS leading you to one.
Almost there.
Oh, God.
He thinks he's living in Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, exactly. So next week, Glorious. It is now on Shudder. You guys can check that out currently. And looking forward to it. We actually, this will be the first time we've talked about a Rebecca McKendry film. Rebecca, other folks, if you know the name, she was a long time employee of Fangoria, and I think she still works for Fangoria as well, if I'm not mistaken. And also was one of the co-hosts of Killer POV, which later became I forget the name of what it became after Killer POV. But anyways, they had another podcast, and now I think she has another podcast. Because it's funny that I think they went to Fangoria, and then all that stuff happened with Fangoria. When Dallas, who is our friend and we've had on the show before, when all this stuff with Dallas Saunier kind of went on. But anyways, yeah, so Shockwaves, that's it. I just remembered. I was just about to look it up and I just remembered. So Shockwaves was the other show, and I believe they have a new podcast now, Elric and Rebecca, but I don't have the name on the tip of my tongue. So you'll have to look it up. But anyways, yeah. So
Gotta save some content for next week, okay?
Yeah, I'll have to look it up in the meantime.
She's also a professor, which I think is great.
That's true.
Didn't get to ask her at what point during her lecture she discloses that she made a glory hole film to her students, but it's got to be at some point, right? It's got to be on the syllabus somewhere.
I mean, first day is a good lead off. Be like, what's teaching me like this year? I got my pencil. Oh, by the way, I make glory hole movies.
We're gonna need your number 2 pencil.
Can I sit in the front, please? I'm gonna sit in the front.
Oh, I don't know if I want to hear number 2 and glory hole in the same sentence.
Well, good luck with the movie.
Sure you don't want to come back, Rachel?
I mean, I always want to come back. Even if maybe I'll just sit in the chat and laugh at you guys. I can't wait to see what you guys think of this movie. I really enjoyed it, and I think you guys are gonna have a good time with it. It's a thinker.
That's right. Rebecca McKendry, her first film was All the Creatures Were Stirring. From 2018. We actually almost did that, but for whatever reason we didn't end up doing it. But I do know my buddy, or I guess kind of a friend of the show, my buddy Coop, used to work with Rebecca at Fangoria. So he's actually pretty good friends with her, and from what I understand, she's a sweetheart. She's an awesome person. I'm sure you know Rachel from interviewing her. So
I mean, I talked to her for a half hour, but maybe she's a monster, but she was great when I talked to her. She was great. Really funny, really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, and somehow, I forgot this, but somehow she was able to get J.K. Simmons in a glory hole horror movie.
It'll all make sense, I swear. It's really smart. It's an interesting movie.
Well, there you have it. So next week we'll be doing Glorious, and you guys can check it out. Raven Shadow, you're gonna love this. It is 79 minutes.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
It's a nice length.
Is that what they say at the glory hole?
Yeah.
Just quick in and out. That's what I like.
This has been the weirdest week. Last night on Star Wars, we talked about titty buckets all night, and don't ask.
How can I not? How can I not ask?
So Rocky, who is one of my co-hosts, on 2 different occasions in the same week, someone had used the phrase titty bucket to him. And he's like, what the fuck is a titty bucket? He's like, I've never heard this. And 2 different people used the term to him, like 2 different people that don't know each other. Okay. So he was like, what the fuck is, so
conspiracy.
So we were trying to figure out what a titty bucket was.
What is a titty bucket?
Well, I don't actually know what it is, but we assumed that it was either, like, sometimes men get sweaty and you got like little sweat going on to there. You put them in the titty bucket.
It's like swamp ass for man boobs?
No, this is one of our theories. We don't actually know. The other one was for male lactation. You use a titty bucket. It's a thing. Never mind.
Male lactation. I knew this guy was going to go some places, but I didn't expect titty bucket. I did not have titty bucket on my bingo card.
Oh, I totally missed the butt plugs.
Yeah. Next week is going to be glory hole talk. So, and
I know.
The thing
you guys
is,
got to have good backgrounds for that one.
the thing is, when I search for titty bucket on like a Google search, I don't have safe search. I have safe search off, so you can imagine I don't get anything that gives me any information. It's all videos.
I mean, I guess I have safe search on. It is equally disappointing.
So it could be a term that two separate people both use, and now like Rocky has a complex thinking it's a thing and it's actually not a thing. I don't know.
I did find this titties bucket hat. Does that count?
Yes. Wow.
Raven Shadow, don't be getting it for Christmas.
Use our Amazon link.
Yeah. Would you wear that? Would you wear a bucket hat that says titty on it? Titties, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, probably just in the house. You know,
maybe to the beach. Maybe when you go on your fishing trip or something.
Yeah, with the vets.
Yeah, with the vets, that'd be appropriate. They'd love that.
This is what I got. Yep.
It's getting dark on page 2 of this search. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. I went on a fishing trip with the vets, and all I got was this crappy titty bucket hat.
I mean, it's evocative. What is a titty bucket?
Control.
I'm obsessed now. I found my mission. I've always been looking for purpose in life, and I couldn't find it until this moment. And now I'm gonna have to like set out on a quest and find out what the hell is a titty bucket.
Liza. Yeah, it's good.
Oh shit!
Is it like a bra for like really sad low boobs?
I don't
put them
know.
in your titty buckets.
I don't know.
What are those the sticks? When you'd walk the sticks with the buckets, the water.
Right. It was before bras, and they would just put a stick with buckets. Put them in titty buckets.
It sucks.
Oh shit!
It's weird. We're sorry, Rachel.
Marion says, I need to know what the context in which titty bucket was said.
Yes, this is information that I also require.
That is helpful, but I don't remember what the context was because Rocky just said, what is a titty bucket? And then we just went from there. And he just said 2 people mentioned it to him, so I didn't get the context.
What 2 people? Well, Rocky's from Kansas.
Yeah, why don't you ask Rocky? I don't know.
I'll text him right now.
Text him right now. Say titty bucket. Just say titty bucket.
2 tears in a titty bucket.
2 tears in a titty bucket. All right. So, yeah, next week, no titty buckets, but we will be talking about glory holes, apparently. So, check out Glorious on Shudder. And
that's it. The titty buckets are in the ladies' room. It's 2 holes. Slightly higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just put in the chat with some of my girlfriends, what is a titty bucket? And I just got, pardon? Question mark.
Oh, God, please don't tell them where you heard it. Oh, shit.
I can see some merch, like some trick-or-treat merch. On the back it says trick-or-treat, but on the front it just says, got titty bucket.
Like donate the titty bucket, like the building
Yeah.
fund. We're going to pass around the titty bucket. Donate.
I think we just start peppering it into everyday conversation and see what happens. Maybe someone will come forward.
Drop a donation in the titty bucket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my roof is leaking. Oh, I got a titty bucket, bro. Fucking.
How was your day today? Titty bucket. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird.
Somebody will say yes, and then you'll know.
Yeah, just keep using it like it's a thing, and then eventually, someone will give you shit for it.
Is it like an Illuminati safe word?
Maybe.
They know that you're hip if you say titty bucket?
That's a great title, fucking Illuminati safe word. That's really fucking, really fucking good.
That is really good. Oh, shit. We get some good contenders for tonight, so.
No, if we don't use that, we're going to use it eventually. Because that's Illuminati safe. It's on Netflix.
That's gonna be my album, my new album.
Yes. This album is dedicated to the titty buckets.
Let's see.
It is time We're playing Illuminati safe word.
Is that the name of your fandom? Like, you know how like butterflies like Mariah Carey, titty buckets love you?
Apparently. Oh shit. Oh man. All right. Looks like Marion posted something. It says tit bucket and denim. What is this?
Corduroys.
Oh, trans bodies.
My friends
and
think I'm
friendship.
asking them a riddle. They're like, is it a riddle? Is it a bra?
Are you in trouble?
Yeah, blink 4 times if you're in trouble. Are you? They're probably like, are you talking to those Trick or Treat Radio guys again?
Yeah.
Probably.
Are you on that show again? Log
Yeah.
Control Alt log off, log off, log off.
They're very confused. I'm just gonna let them marinate in it.
Illuminati fucking
Illuminati safe word.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Funny.
So, Raven Shadow's Illuminati safe word is Remington Steele.
Yes.
All right. Let's we get some voice messages to get to. Then we're gonna wrap this fucking thing up. So let's
Also, his glory hold alter ego.
I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. Let's
we keep talking about titty buckets and glory holes.
yeah, what time is it? Is it fucking California, right? It's still light out over there. Let's keep partying.
It's actually still
over
light
here.
out over here. I can keep going. I'm just getting warmed up. Now you've awakened the beast. I want to know about titty buckets.
Is it still August in California? I'm excited.
Is it still August? Are you serious?
What month are you in?
Oh God.
June December.
Thank you.
All right, we have a few voice messages, so let's see what we got here. All right, you know what? Let's hear from someone we heard from on our 10-year anniversary. But previous to that, hadn't heard from in a while. But this is Dangerous Donnie Davis.
Hey guys,
Shit.
this is Donnie or Ingrid
Great
Townsend
name.
on Discord.
Oh, it's a little quiet. Hold
I
on.
just wanted to leave a voicemail about Day Shift. I watched it and I loved the world that was built up and the action scenes. Not sure if the story was the best, but it was still an enjoyable vampire movie. I was not a fan of the Dave Franco character and his bodily functions throughout the movie. And the way the neighbor gets brought into the story at the end of the movie and how people are suddenly kung fu experts was a little jarring. But overall, enjoyable movie. And I'd say it's a treat, and loved Snoop Dogg's performance and
Yeah,
the attention he garnered everywhere he went.
definitely. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That's funny. Whenever he talked to like a lady, like they would give him like a wink, and he would do like the like gesture, like like call me, and like I thought that was kind of a funny little subplot, even though it was like just kind of like a short little thing. But I thought that was kind of funny. So Donnie, Dangerous Donnie, appreciate the voice message, and always good to hear from you. And it's funny, Donnie actually pretty much was on board with us in terms of what we thought and sort of how things kind of changed quickly, and the story and everything. So yeah, so cool. Good to hear from you, Donnie.
Donnie Dangerous is now a Donnie Gentleman and a Scholar. Sorry, we got to rebrand, buddy.
All right, so we actually just got another voice message. Let me get this one ready, but
please let it be about titty buckets.
Oh my God. Speaking of titty buckets, let's hear from Evil Corny. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I did that transition. I'm sorry, Corny. Let's hear from Evil Corny.
Hey guys, what's up, Rachel?
Hey.
This week's film, the Day Shift, I am going to give a treat. I don't think it's a perfect film, but as parts of it, I had a lot of fun in it. With it, I don't think it had much of a story, but it has some real nice action sequences. I really, in particular, like that first fight scene and the car chase. But you all have a good one. Evil Corny out. And this is like Friday night. I just saw it, so I was feeling this film, and I wanted to go and drop my email now before I forgot about it. You all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
All right, Corny. Looks like Corny's kind of on board with us in terms of great. I mean, great action. Story maybe left a little bit to be desired, but there you go. All right, Corny. And yeah, I saw his voice message come in on Friday. I was like, wow, Corny's getting an early start here. But all right, Corny. Always good to hear from you, buddy.
Love some Corny. Yes.
All right.
I did a reaction from Rocky.
Oh, you did? You actually texted that to him?
Yep, I just wrote titty bucket, and it goes.
What did he say?
Smiley face emoji, and then his response is "clean that mother." And I said, "We're talking about it on the show." We did a 15-minute bit, and he said, "Laugh my ass off." Oh fuck.
Cryptic. Disappointingly cryptic.
Oh man. All right, we have 2 more voice messages. Let's now go to Carlitos.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
And guest host Rachel again.
Yeah.
How are
Hey,
you?
good.
Let me just get this out of the way. First things first. It's very late, I know, but happy 10th anniversary, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
You guys have got me through many shifts at many jobs. Okay, only 3. Well,
only 3.
2 and a third. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah. And you guys kept me entertained I like the long format because I could just do my thing and you guys keep jabbering away and make me laugh, viewing films and all that stuff. But I also want to say you guys should be really proud for yourselves because you managed to build this community, not just for how long you guys been around and how many episodes, but this community you built. And everybody's just super cool with each other. And with the technology now, being able to bring more interaction with each other now, and it's been real fun, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching Septic with you guys. That was fun. Poking fun at it, but as well as loving it. Still yet to buy it, but I will. Definitely gonna check that movie out or buy that film. But yeah, you guys should give yourself a Barry Horowitz style pat on the back for that. And yeah, that's it, man. Not too much. I did not see today's film you're reviewing today. I did see Prey. I don't know if you're ever going to review that. I don't know if you guys all have Hulu, but Prey's great. It's a big treat for me. Something fresh, something new. Definitely dug that film. And yeah, man, you guys just keep going as long as you can. I know there'll be a day coming that sad day coming where you're going to have to retire. But hey, whatever. You guys got to do what you got to do. So love you guys. That's it. Anyway, go play Cult of the Lamb because you get the lead and watch over a cult in that game, and it's really addicting. And you know what? I'll see you guys later. Bye.
All right, Carlitos. Thank you, man. It's always good to hear from you, and I love interacting with Carlitos and a lot of the Patreon stuff that we do. And yeah, he mentioned the Septic watch along that we did. That was a fucking blast. I had so much fun doing that. We'll definitely have to do another one of those, Raven Shadow.
Oh, we were so good in that movie, Wolfie.
Shut up.
The show.
Just to clue Rachel in. So Rachel, we filmed a scene in a movie like 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was. We established, and yeah, 5 or 6 years, and we had no idea, like anything about we didn't know much about the movie. We knew it was the name of the movie, and we didn't know what roles we were playing necessarily. He just, he told us, all right, you guys are going to be like hired muscle, dressed kind of nice, and you get to shoot guns, and that's all we knew.
Fun.
So, but it turns out we played kind of an integral role in the movie. We had no idea. But our characters were snuff organizers. That was our
Holy shit!
Yeah. And we
That's
didn't
a turn.
and we didn't know that until we saw the credits.
Yeah. And it was like, react to something. Okay. What are we reacting to? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Be enthusiastic about it. All right. And it's like, I can tell my mom, I was in a movie. Can I see it? No.
No. Definitely not.
So you like deep faked yourself.
Yeah.
So
that's impressive.
The way that the filmmaker Brian makes his films is a lot of times he doesn't have a script really. He has a story, he follows a story, but things kind of take shape as he moves along, and he makes them over the course of several years. So a lot of times he comes up with different ideas, or people will be available that weren't previously, or won't be available, or whatever. And so, it's kind of a organic, living, breathing sort of process. But yeah, we had no idea. So when Raven Shadow had seen the movie previously, but this was my first time watching it when we did this watch along. And so seeing us was actually, it was kind of cool. Like we played a kind of an integral part in the movie. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, we had no idea. And seeing Snuff Organizer.
Yeah.
Yay,
Definitely put that on your LinkedIn.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That'll go over well. That's why I'm so glad I used Johnny Wolfenstein as the name.
Yeah, see, so smart. Why didn't I do that? Now there's mistakes have been made, but it's too late now.
Yeah. People could just search for you and find butt plug backgrounds,
Yep.
Talking about
it was
titty
funny
buckets.
when you were talking on the show the other day, I saw you going to the website and I was like, oh God, the lead story is about vibrators for bottoming. Oh God.
Oh, was there a Illuminati safe word talked about in that?
No, but there probably should have been. I know what I'm going to write about tomorrow. Make sure you have your Illuminati safe word ready.
You're gonna find out what a titty bucket is, and there's gonna be an article about it.
Right? You'll never know when the Men in Black are going to show up with a titty bucket. You're going to need one. Non-consensual titty bucket. It's not good for anyone.
Non-consensual titty bucket.
What the fuck? Too many titles.
Wow. Yeah. We're gonna have to what we'll do is we'll split this episode up into 4 parts, and then we'll just have a different title for each part.
Perfect.
Oh,
I love
man.
it.
Oh, I'm smelling burnt toast right now. I think I'm having...
What kind of toast we talking? Because I actually, it's funny. I'll just tell a story here. It's not a long story, but so I went to Trader Joe's yesterday. You guys have them in California, right, Rachel? Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I figured.
Yeah.
I think they actually started out there, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But so anyways, I went there. There's a couple things that I get there that you can't get anywhere else. So I usually only go there once a month or something like that. And they've actually had a lot of new vegan products in the last year or two. So I always like to try them just to kind of, support them and hope that they continue to make more of them. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Oh, burnt toast. So anyways, yesterday when I was there, I was walking and I saw they had a vegan brioche loaf. And I was like, what the fuck? So I don't think I've ever had brioche.
It's very eggy, so that I'm
yeah.
curious.
Yeah. So I don't know what they use in it. I didn't, I looked at the ingredients, but I didn't like it's obviously not egg, but it's probably like an egg replacer or something like that. But actually, I'm looking at the ingredients right now. Let's see. Plant-based butter. There you go.
Okay.
Coconut oil.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a few other things in there, but yeah. So I had it this morning for toast for breakfast. I was really excited. So Raven Shadow talking about burnt toast. Thankfully, I didn't burn it, but it made me think of buying. Why did I even tell this story? It's not even good. Just you talking about toast made me think of it.
So, like me potentially having a stroke made you think of breakfast.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
He eats your strokes for breakfast, is what he's saying.
One involves an ambulance and one involves a napkin.
Which one would you take?
The fucking napkin. Fucking no ambulance. I got a fucking hell of a copay.
Oh shit. So yeah, so if anyone's curious, if you want, I'm actually gonna try and make French toast this weekend with it. It's nice, like thick, like kind of like soft buttery bread. So
Yum. Now I'm hungry. Jeez.
To film it.
Oh,
Film
man.
it, right? Put it on. Yeah. Put it on the OnlyHams.
We just went from talking about being snuff organizers to talking about burnt toast to talking about shopping for bread.
Yeah.
And
I
talking
like
about
the way this
breakfast.
the stream of consciousness is always interesting here.
Oh man, we do have one more voice message. And it's from our guest co-host from next week, Arkham Josh.
Wait your turn.
Radio guys.
My turn.
I'm going to leave you a really quick and quiet message. My thoughts on this week's film, Day Shift. I had not heard of this before you guys chose it, and before it popped up on Netflix, but, it was a lot of fun. It was a good, kind of goofy, action-y comedy horror film. I thought the cast was good. I thought the action was good. And overall, I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's a first-time feature director, so I'm definitely looking forward to what else they'll come out with. I'm working at the Necronomicon convention this weekend in Providence, so I'm actually hiding in the back right now. I just started a screening. And so I figured I'd send you guys a quick message and go back to work. And looking forward to chatting with you guys next week. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, Josh. And for those who don't know, Josh moonlights as a film projectionist. So he was recording his message from Necronomicon.
Yeah, she's the
for those who don't know, Necronomicon is an H.P. Lovecraft themed convention in Providence, Rhode Island. So I amazingly have never been, even when I was living up there. I think it happened every other year or something like that. It wasn't every year. But it just so happened like a lot of times there's like another convention going on at the same time or something. So I just never made it. But sounds like a pretty cool time. And I know a lot of people have fun there that have gone. So
yeah, that's cool, man. That's gonna be perfect for next week because it's all like cosmic-y horror stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good. He's gonna be a good guest for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. That's it for voice messages. We made it. We made it through without incident. And as once again, just like kind of like oversharing here, I was looking through my email just to see if there's any other voice messages. And when Josh was leaving or we're hearing from Josh, I clicked on an email I got, like a marketing email, and it's from a company that makes headphones. So I was like, oh, let's see if they have new products. And I scroll down, and there's a woman sitting on a toilet with her panties around her knees, and they're advertising a bidet. So apparently a headphone company. It says,
headphone company?
Well, that's what I know them as. But it says on the picture, clean your butt in a cleaner way. Clean your butt in a cleaner way.
Is that a titty bucket? No, that's not a titty bucket.
Maybe it's clean your
Booty bucket.
booty bucket. Oh, I can get these for free. It's a marketing email where I can get one of these 100% free.
I mean, do you have to like recruit 3? Is this some sort of pyramid scheme? Like,
oh, do like Rachel and I got to give you like $10, and then we have to get like Aries and Monster Zero and Rocky to give us like $15 after that.
What the fuck? A body brush kit? What the fuck? What is a body brush kit?
Is it like a dry brush? Is that what it is? Because I do know what that is.
It's a shower foot scrubber plus shower body brush plus hair scalp massage. Apparently, they're really branching out.
Yeah. They got you covered from
head to toe,
ears to taint to toes. You're covered.
Covered from ear to taint.
To toes. To toes.
Head, shoulders, ears, and taint. Ears, and taint. Head, shoulders, ears, and taint.
I will say in my Discord, some of the pardon me, some of the zombie girls are watching, and I happen to see that this is way early in the show. One of them was like, I watch Hellraiser with my family all the time. I was like,
okay. By the way, if any of them are still watching, we're sorry.
I mean, they know me. They know what they're going to do here. You're classing up the joint.
Oh man. Is the Zombie Girls Discord, is that a Patreon only perk, or is it
It is a paid, I mean it is, but like, you know, you guys know somebody. If you wanted to get in, I bet you could get in.
Don't let Raven Shadow in there.
Well, now I'm definitely sending an invite tonight.
Oh man. All right, let's see. I think yeah, that's it for voice messages. No more bidets in my email. I've never used a bidet. Just
Really? I'm very pro bidet.
pro bidet, yeah.
Yes, one of my friends and I have had multiple arguments about it because she's sure that the singularity is going to occur mid-cycle, and it's going to attack.
Yeah.
I keep telling her that's probably not
man.
going to happen, but she's sure that like Skynet is tapped into my toilet. So I don't know what to tell you.
Oh man, before we start the wrap up, Marion just posted a fun little picture in the chat. I'm gonna put on the on here. So let me just. Of course, it takes me forever. XSplit every update. It feels like it gets slower and slower. So,
Get it together, XSplit.
I know. Let me see if I can get this. Well, I do have like a ton of stuff running at the same time when I do the show, but.
I mean, it's just building tension. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
this is a little suspense.
Exactly.
Anticipation.
There you go.
While I wait for this, though, I'm not just gonna not talk.
Tell us more about the bread at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, you guys want to hear what else I bought at Trader Joe's?
Kinda.
You got some vegan marmalade over there? You fucking
No. They have, but they do have vegan bonbons, and T-Dog happens to quite enjoy those.
That's my favorite soul coughing song is Vegan Bonbon.
Vegan bonbon, vegan bonbon. Shit.
Move aside, let the vegan come through.
Well, speaking of let the vegan come through, there's some old fucking lady. Like I was looking in the like the freezer section, and they have them like, it's not like a door that you open. It's like a kind of a waist high sort of freezer section that you look down into. So I was like looking in to see like what they had for like, you know, frozen meals and stuff, just to see if there's anything new. She comes up, like literally puts her cart literally touching my side. Like it was like an inch away, and she knew, like I could tell, like she was watching, and I was like, She literally pushed me out of the way with her fucking car. It was like an old, like 60-year-old woman or something. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
There's like a particular brand of villainy that takes place at a Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And you can usually spot them because they're the ones in the like, with the coexist bumper stickers on their cars. Like that's like, like how poisonous frogs are bright colors, so they're dangerous. Like if you see like a namaste or coexist bumper sticker
Yeah.
on like a Prius in a parking lot of Trader Joe's, run. They're yeah, that's how they're flagging.
Man.
They're flagging danger.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I got the picture loaded up, so let me just push it here so people can see it, so that when I talk about it, so it is like.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh shit! It's funny. Hold on. Septic was actually playing in the background.
What?
Because that was the same screen I used to play Septic. So it was like the behind the scenes was actually just playing. So the audio you
looping?
heard. Yeah,
when you looping this whole time.
Well, when you turn it on to this scene, it'll start playing, and I just put this over it. I didn't realize it was still there. But the image is like a sort of like Lovecraftian sort of creature holding a banner, and the banner says "Trick or Treat Radio. We get off on tangents."
That's the back of the T-shirt, brother, right there. That's what that. That's. Then we'll have the radio in the front. Yeah.
Titty buckets in the front.
Titty buckets in the front.
Getting off on tangents
in the back.
Fucking sec.
Oh shit.
Tangent hole. Like glory holes. But we forgot what we were talking about.
Titty buckets in the front, tangents in the back.
Come for the titty bucket, stay for the tangents.
Holy shit. So yeah, thanks, Marion. That's actually kind of awesome. It's been so long since we've had an actual artist do some art for us. I wonder if we should try to get some new art and have something like that.
I would totally buy that shirt. Actually, do you guys have merch? I need to get some Trick or Treat Radio merch.
It's Raven Shadow, you might know what we have more than I do. I think we just have like free stuff right now. Like we have like coasters and stickers and buttons, I think. Yeah.
I want a shirt. You guys got to make a shirt.
You know what's funny is we did limited shirts like years ago. We did like limited release. We would only make enough for the people who bought them. We did like a pre-sale thing. And I think Raven Shadow is probably going to get his shirt right now. So the funny thing is MZ had his own shirt and Raven Shadow had his own shirt, and then that was it. And then the person who
You didn't get a shirt?
No, the person who was doing shirts for us kind of flaked and took our money.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's kind of shitty. It was someone who was a listener, so I felt bad being sort of like shitty about it, But
I mean,
kind of sucks, right?
Like that's kind of they did it.
Yeah.
If they really took off with your money, I think you're being pretty cool if you just give them shit on the show.
Yeah.
You could do like a TeePublic situation. I mean, we won't make any money off of it, but.
Yeah. And at this point,
I could buy a shirt. So
yeah, and at this point I don't really care about, as long as we have the Patreon, as long as we can do the show for free basically. That's really all I care about. So yeah, I mean it would be cool. We had so I think he's going to get the shirts. So I'll hold off just in case he can find them. Although who knows, maybe
then we'll start the bidding war.
Yeah, maybe they'll be
who gets the last whatever shirt.
Oh, he bought 2 of his own shirts. Like he got 2 different colors of his own shirt.
That tracks. That feels correct.
Yes, it is very much correct. So we did two of those. This was years ago. We haven't done one in a while.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So he's got the MZ one, and he's got the Raven Shadow one. So if I'm not mistaken, the MZ one says drop the hero and get with the zero.
Oh my god. So what would your shirt have been or will
I
be?
don't. I actually hadn't even thought about it. I don't think I would have wanted my own shirt. These guys did. I don't think I would have wanted my own.
It could be a monocle. It could just be your
Just a
calves.
Just
It
a
could
monocle.
be
A monocle
I don't
and
know,
two
like
calves.
a vegan brioche. What could it be?
Oh man.
so
Raven
many
Shadow.
options.
Raven Shadow's shirt was a raven smoking, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the smoke spelled out Raven Shadow, didn't it?
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, right?
That shirt is cool. And on the back it had the Trick or Treat Radio logo. The old one. Years ago.
Yeah.
But that one came in what colors, Raven Shadow? Red and came in another color.
Red and green.
Red and green. You got both, of course.
I got both. So I could wear them more than once.
And MZ's came in 2 different colors too, I think, right?
I think just orange. Just orange for him.
No, it came in 2 because I got the gray.
Oh,
So
really? Yeah.
Orange and gray, yeah. So those are the 2
But still-
shirts we did. I don't know why we did individual shirts. I have no idea why, but
I think it was a contest to who could get shirts, and then I think we're still waiting for that check to come in.
oh yeah, I was just telling Rachel about that. Yeah, it still hasn't come in yet. That's like 6 years ago.
Wait for that.
We do. I mean, I do know some pretty amazing artists. I don't know if do I know people who make T-shirts. I forget, but yeah,
We do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I know who you mean.
Yeah. 2023. Roll out some new merch. Some sweet merch.
I'm just afraid we won't sell any. Like, I feel like years ago.
I
we
think
did-
you
we
would.
did-
I feel like I'd buy one. Corny'd buy one.
Yeah. Well, dude, if we get off on
That's 2 shirts.
I would buy that. And actually, I want to check out the Zombie Girls shirt because that was mentioned on a recent episode. So I need.
Oh
I need
yeah, we have a new one. Like right now, I have some new shirts being designed. So hold out for those. We're getting a new more deadly shirt. We're getting a new zombie girl shirt because we're we're switching up the logos a little bit. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
I wish I had more time to dedicate. There's a bunch of stuff I've been wanting to do for our show for a while, and time. I don't know how you find time, Rachel. Honestly, with all you have going.
Methamphetamines. No. No, this is the thing is like actually it helps me have boundaries or I would just do nothing but work all the time.
Yeah.
But like having stuff like this where I'm like, nope, I have to stop. I have to get ready for this podcast is good.
Yeah.
And then like this is the fun stuff. I love this.
Yeah, I can get behind that because that's honestly having a regular routine for the show is probably the only reason we're still doing it. Because if it was like I've known a lot of podcasts that they're like, oh well, let's we'll talk at the beginning of the week and find out what day is best for everyone, and those never last. Like I've seen that with so many different podcasts. So if we had a setup like that, we probably would never get a show done.
Yeah.
So it was, kind of essential for, at least for me, to do it that way. And every week, this time, we do it. And, it's been over 10 years now. We have not missed an episode.
That's amazing.
Like every Friday, there's been a new episode for, 525 weeks now, I guess? So...
Yeah, that's really impressive.
It's almost
I
kind
I
of-
didn't get to. You guys were recording the same day that we were doing our live show, so I didn't get to participate and send you guys.
right.
But it's so incredible what you guys have done, and I was it Josh that was no, I don't know who it was that was talking about like the community you've built. Like I've just recently kind of like been able to like have contact with them, and everybody is so cool and so nice. Like you should be really proud of what you have achieved with this show. I know it's like a labor of love, but
yeah.
it really like it shows, and like you fostered a really cool community of like funny, nice, smart, welcoming people. You should be really proud of that.
Well, I appreciate that. And I do think that I do agree. I think we've had a really great sort of community that we don't deserve, but that have popped up around
I don't know
us.
about that.
And we have some really, made some great friends and some great contacts through it. So yeah, I do appreciate that. Marion sent another version of the
Yes, let's see
so
it.
Let me pop this in here. I like this because it has the ellipsis. Trick or treat radio. We get off ... on tangents.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Right?
Make a shirt.
Make a shirt. Make a shirt.
Yeah, Raven Chat, listen to you. Make a shirt. You want a shirt?
I'm just gonna manifest this
Yeah.
simply because I want a shirt.
Oh man. Well, if enough people want it, maybe we'll do it. So if that's something people out there would do, just let us know and maybe we'll look into it.
Am I gonna have to start a petition?
I want to have glow sticks. I want to have headbands. I want wristbands.
What?
Do
you want
koozies?
Do you want
Koozies.
slap bracelets too?
Yeah. Flat bands. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun. Jerseys.
I want like those like headbands with the things that go up and like 2 trick or treat radios on the top, the little
Oh my
dealy
God.
boppers.
Yeah, I did dealy boppers. Oh shit, that's funny.
Programs.
Trick or treat radio programs.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
big lamp. All right.
We should wrap this up. It's almost midnight.
I don't want to.
You don't?
We have to.
You just want to hang out with Rachel all night, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Gotta go. All right.
Yeah. What time do you have to get up, Raven Shadow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. What time tomorrow?
Daytime.
Oh my God.
No, like around.
Is that ET or PT
Yeah.
or
Greenwich
time?
GMT. What are we talking here?
New Eastern Standard Mountain.
Did you say New Eastern Standard Mountain?
Yeah, New England Standard Mountain. That's my new company that I'm working on. We build my.
Time is a construct.
It's made up. It's made up.
Time is a complication to Raven Shadow.
Yeah, no, I gotta be up by 6:45 now.
Yeah,
All right,
so
we should wrap it up.
Yeah, you're not gonna get any sleep. I wake up at like
I-
9 a.m. most days, and like I don't get enough sleep.
Oh, good, because I work for a video game company.
I'm up writing about vibrators at 6 a.m. So I win or I lose, depending on how you look at it.
So now I'm fascinated.
You should trade jobs with Raven Shadow for one day. I would love
What do
to
you do,
see the
Raven
outcome.
Shadow? Oh, you work at a comic book store?
Well, health insurance, but also part-time comic book store. So it's health insurance by day, comic book store by weekend.
Which is the secret identity?
I was gonna say you sound like a superhero.
Yeah, Trick or Treat Radio. That's the gimmick. But no, but Rachel, I think I want to say this. You and your crew are kicking all the ass.
Oh.
You rock. Love everything you do. And so thank you so much for coming on with us because you are awesome and definitely I think Johnny would agree. And Aries, if he was here, like you are definitely part of the crew, and we'd love to have you. And you're definitely part of the clique. So thank you so much for being.
That really means a lot. Don't make me be sincere. I like talking about butt plugs.
Butt plugs,
part of-
vibrators, glory holes. We got it all.
Like I said, classy lady elevating the show. You can always count on me. You got to put on your suit and tie when I come on the show because
Yeah.
it's going to be fancy.
I'll wear my T-shirt with like the tux, sort of like,
Ooh.
tux T-shirt, whatever you call those. All right, well, I think it is time to say goodbye, unfortunately, but we will certainly have Rachel on again in the future, and I feel like next time we need something deep. So
I agree.
We'll see what's coming up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I want to replace these glasses with dual monocles. That's what I'm going for.
that would be my shirt, right, Raven Shadow? Dual
Yes.
monocles. I don't know if you've heard these guys talk about the monocle, but that was like That was like my thing when I would get heavy into like the subtext. I'd be like,
Yes.
ooh, Monaco, Monaco, Monaco.
Subtext, important film.
Oh, I can't wait. I love it. I love putting on the monocle. It's so much fun. I like that we do a little bit of this, sacred and profane, let's just say.
That explains so much.
Well, and one thing I want to mention too, like I love how you folks like you do your BSing in the beginning. There was some crazy stuff. There's like whoever's nude in people's buildings, there's all kinds of weirdness, and you get into the film discussion. So I think that we're cut from the similar cloth, with nonsense, and then, I mean, you folks are much better than we are, but the discussion point of view and listening to you folks is, I once again, I think we're just East Coast, West Coast, baby, but no one's fighting, no one's pulling guns, you know what I'm saying?
We're taking over. That's what's going on.
Oh,
Joining forces.
Our boy, Dangerous Donnie, he says, I love the energy Rachel brings to these shows.
Aw, thanks, Donnie. I appreciate it. It's so much fun. I have such a good time every time. Like I was saying the other day, like I love going on other shows. I love them all. I love them all the same, but you're my favorite.
Oh, shucks. And I know some of the other shows you've been on, so that's saying a lot.
Yeah, right.
So thank you, Rachel. That's awfully nice of you to say. And Donnie also says I'd get a shirt. So
all right, that's 3. I'm just assuming Corny would buy.
Just assuming. Well, Raven Shadow would buy 2.
Right, so
at least.
We're up to 5.
Right, Raven Shadow, at least 2 for you.
What about
5? Oh, 5?
Creepy girl, where you at? Let's make this happen.
I'll buy one.
Tron. Okay, yeah. All right. If we get to 10, maybe we'll do it. All right. So everyone go check out Rachel and the Zombie Girls. You can find it at zombiegirls.com, and girls is GRRLZ. That's zombiegirls.com, and you can find all the podcasts there and the always awesome VOD calendar that I'm hyping up all the time. So you guys can that's actually what brought us together, Rachel, was the VOD calendar.
No, it was worth all those months and years of working on it. Like, I was like, why am I doing this? But somewhere out there was my new friends.
Little did you know at the time.
Little did I know.
So, well, there you go. Go check that out. So, Rachel, and please, if there's anything else you want to promote or tell folks about, please take the opportunity while you say goodbye.
No, I mean, you've really done a nice job playing. I would just say follow us on Instagram and Twitter at ZG Podcasts, and that's ZG Podcasts, plural. We're a good follow. Ariel does a really, really great job there, and it's how you can find out when our shows come out. And you never know. Maybe you'll hear something about our friends, our friendship in the future here. I'm just saying.
It must be so nice to have help. It must be so nice to have someone to handle social media. Oh man, that must be such a luxury.
I feel like, Raven Shadow, you should be doing the social media. I think you would be such a wild follow. I don't know what would end up on there, but that'd be the excitement. Like, what's it gonna be today?
I'll be a producer. I can touch keyboards.
No, it's not producing. It's not producing. It's actually doing shit. You think producing just means showing up?
Do you think Bambaleo grows on trees? Like, if you get a lot of things. You don't understand. There's cardio.
I don't understand. Okay, yeah.
There's combing involved.
Combing?
Yeah, combing of hair. There's cardio. There's combing.
I have longer hair than you now, and I never comb my hair.
Well, once this is even before the show even starts, bro. This is at 6 o'clock.
Bro.
There's finishing the movie. Okay.
Yeah, at 7:59.
Yeah. There's text 20 that we're going live. Like, I'm doing.
And then at 8:15, he's like, is everything okay?" Meanwhile, when you're late, not a fucking peep sometimes.
It's wiping down my sunglasses. Like, there's so many things involved.
It's true. Like smudges. They're
smudges.
resistant.
Smudges. How do they work?
It's a miracle.
All right.
When you're wiping them down, do you do like or do you get out like an actual wipe? Like, I need to know, like, because then there's a financial aspect to it.
Good question, Rachel. I do.
I'm
I
a
do-
journalist. This is why I'm a journalist.
This is gonna show up on tomorrow's article.
Yes, there's a special cloth that's involved.
Is it a microfiber?
It's a very expensive.
Chamois?
It's a ShamWow. That guy on TV. Not the pillow guy because he's a dick. But the ShamWow guy die?
I think didn't he get like mixed up in some weird like sex worker thing?
Oh my God.
So don't use ShamWows. Don't use. Those are bad for you. Use
He's still present. It says years active, 96 to present. Vince Offer is his name.
Vince Offer.
Yeah, I'm
I bet he's a good social media follow.
Yeah, Jack Mayoffer. That's good.
Oh, he was the slap chop guy too.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, didn't he like beat up a sex worker or something?
Don't buy that product.
Maybe he got caught in a glory hole holding a titty bucket.
See, yes, trapped in the titty bucket on the other side of the glory hole. It's all coming together.
Oh God! All right. On that note,
Illuminati safe word.
Illuminati safe word. Yes. Okay. So everyone, go follow Rachel. Go listen to her podcast, and come back and hear her again on the show sometime soon. So, all right. Well, let's say our goodbyes for real. Raven Shadow, go ahead.
All right, listen. Just we have a lot of anniversaries going on in the last couple of weeks. But her word to go into business myself right now. There's 2 minutes left, but today is the 4-year anniversary of Mary and I coming together. So
nice, congratulations!
Congratulations,
to you and Marion.
Yeah. You know, normally I have a good collection of like first year anniversary cards, and that's it. But to get to 4 is pretty rad. So thank you, Marion. Until next time, live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
I think it's like once you're past like 3 years seems to be like the threshold of like, all right, now it's for real. So, well, congratulations to you and Marion.
Yeah, definitely.
And, I've definitely seen some improvements since you've been with her. That's all I'll say. So I don't know. She deserves sainthood.
Oh, she's going to heaven. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us. You guys, you came for the titty bucket.
You stayed for the glory hole.
Stayed for the glory hole or the tangents, whichever you prefer. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us. And big, huge thank you to Rachel for putting up with us, but I think it's more or less joining us in the insanity. So we always appreciate and cherish our times hanging out with Rachel. So hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon. We'll toss out the messages and figure out the next time when everyone's
anytime.
Available. So, all right, everyone, there you have it. That is going to do it for the show. So we appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 525. Everyone who listened to the live show, everyone who hung out in the chat room, everyone who contributed some voice messages, and just everyone who participates, whether it's listening to the podcast or also for our Patreon supporters especially. We love you guys. So until next week, that's going to do it. And come back and join us for episode 526. Jeez. We will have Arkham Josh joining us, and we'll be talking about Glorious. I think we've hyped it up enough. A glory hole horror. You can check it out on Shudder, and then come back and join us if you guys have thoughts. Send them our way, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And that is it. Go buy some vegan brioche bread. I'm going to do a recommendation for food at the end of each episode. Maybe that's my gimmick. All right. See you guys next week.